Now.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to our Thursday Live with Radiate Up. And I am Dr. Judy. I'm a chiropractor, and I'm going to have my team introduce themselves, and then we will introduce our special guest.
Hi, I'm Vivian. I'm just one of the Radiate Up team members, and right now I'm just a stay-at-home mom. And what else? I guess that's it for now. But I'll introduce my brother, Young. Young, you can go ahead.
Hi, my name is Young. I'm a software developer by trade. Got into the spiritual realm and joined with Radiate Group. I've awakened up and started 2016, and I started to do channeling. So now I channel Ascended Masters, Higher Self, and lately dragons. And I'll pass it back to Dr. Judy.
Well, today Vivian will be introducing our special guest, David.
Oh, yeah. So, David, welcome to the show. I'm going to be reading off his bio. So here it goes. David Bardes is an energy and spiritual practitioner in the greater Portland, Oregon area. Having studied with high-level Taoist and Buddhist masters, he combines light and energy transmissions with the power of his voice to create significant benefits for his clients. He is also a certified Soul Teacher and Tao Hands practitioner through the Tao Academy. Welcome, David.
Yes, welcome.
Thank you very much. I'm glad to be on Radiate Up. I've had the pleasure of meeting and working with Dr. Judy, but I have not experienced the Radiate Up experience. So I'm very grateful to be here.
Here.
Feeling very welcomed. Thank you.
Well, we are very excited to have you, and thank you for taking your time to join us. So share with us a little bit about the work that you're doing. You're a Taoist and a Buddhist master, and you're an energy healer and light workers.
All of that, perhaps.
And more.
And more. So through my years, I have studied with Master Mantak Chia. Some of you may be familiar with him. And I did that in my 20s. And then later I worked with Master Wong, who's a Rinpoche from a Tibetan Buddhist sect. And I've always been kind of a dabbler. I worked with these people, get some of these good practices, but always seemed to have wandered off. So about 5 years ago, I stumbled onto the teachings of Master Sha. And I figured third time was the charm. And if I was going to really do this, I really needed to jump in with both feet. And so that's what I've been doing. As the bio stated, I am a soul teacher. I went through the program there with the Tao Academy, and that was a 2-year training. And also work with the light and the healing energy through the Tao Hands and the Divine Healing Hands. This last couple months, I received a Reiki attunement, and that's really fun. The good news is the Tao Hands and the Reiki get along. There's no conflict there, so that's very good. Been working with the healing energy. As I've been working through my practices and doing all the chanting that's involved with the Master Sha program, my voice is really transformed. And it is a strong part now of my healing process. So I'm very excited to have, I've always been able to carry a tune, but it's nice now to be able to actually use that in my healing practices.
Wow. Can you share with us a little bit about that tune and the voices that you are using as a healer?
Sure. So part of the practice is to bring out your soul language, and then that turns into your soul voice, or your soul song rather. And my voice has been augmented or refined, if you will. One of my experiences last year was, this is a great story. At work, I came in one day and there was this rock on my desk. And there was a little sticky note attached to it, and it said, "This rock has a message for you." And I suspected it was left there by my workmate Michelle, who has very open channels, clairaudient. She hears messages, and she heard this message from this rock. So I did a flow with the rock, and sure enough, there was a message that I was to take this rock back to the exact beach where it was found. And there was some urgency to that. So on a very rainy day, I went out to the coast and went to that beach and found that spot where that rock was originally found, and started to do my own soul song. And what channeled through me was a different song, which was much louder and much higher than where I normally sing. And I understood this to be Grandmother Ocean's song, or the song that she wanted me to sing. And it has helped me refine my own soul song, so that it's become a little more focused, a little more precise. So I'm very excited about that. That was a great find and a great message.
Wow.
So if you would like, I could do a little soul song if you're interested in hearing that.
Well, of course.
Okay, here we go. Get a sip of water first. Whew.
Well, that's good. What does that interpret into?
I'm sorry?
So what does that interpret into?
Well, I use that as part of my healing. I could go back, I suppose, and translate that a little bit, see if there was a message involved. That would be fun. Let's give that a try. See if I can get something here. Dear my beloved brothers and sisters, I am so excited to be able to share with you Grandmother Ocean's song, her message. We are all drops in the she's quoting Rumi. We are not a drop in the ocean. We are all of the ocean in a drop. And then just lots of messages of joy, of love. We're all kind of one. Went from message into visualization, so I'm sorry, that was a little interesting to translate.
Wow. That's awesome. Grandmother Ocean. That's beautiful. Thank you.
David, can you explain to our viewers what is a soul song?
Certainly. We all have an overriding soul. All souls have consciousness, preferences. We've all lived many lifetimes, so there's a lot of wisdom and accumulated knowledge. And all souls can speak to each other. And so they all have a soul language. And the neat thing about it is that my soul language will not sound like yours, and yours won't sound like mine, but we can each translate each other's soul language. So there's a process to bring that out. There's a code that we repeat faster and faster and faster until you can't say it anymore. And then what comes out is your soul language. And that changes over time. When I first discovered my soul language, it sounded like a banshee screaming. It was very interesting. So, and it changes a little bit over time. Right now, my soul language sounds more like a Asian general dressing down his troops. So that's kind of fun. I can give you an example of that if you'd like.
Yeah, sure.
我以前来做这你这样来说的，我这你这，我呢也是我这附近呢也住在一着，那也那也不多这一着的好附近些的，也这那附近也做我自己。
Well,
That's interesting.
So everybody's soul language is different. Judy, who's the gentleman who has whistling as his soul song? I forget his name. Ted?
Ted Lu.
Ted, yes. Oh, it's so beautiful. He whistles.
wow.
And it's very moving. It's wonderful. So
when you're like connecting to the soul sound,
mhm.
like what's the feeling and the connection that you're getting? Maybe for people who are not familiar with soul sounds, I guess.
It feels really good. It's like talking to your best friend. So it's something I enjoy doing, and it just kind of fits right into the teaching or the blessings that are part of what I'm doing.
Oh, nice. And I guess do you if it's like a conversation, do you understand while you're speaking it? Does it come through you? Like
At that point, no. I would have to go back and ask what the heck was it? What was it that I was saying? So it just kind of comes through, and often it's not really that important what it's saying. It's just out there getting the vibrations going. So.
And that sounds similar to Dr. Judy when she goes in the trance and she does the blessings. The dragon language comes through. And she's like, I don't know what I said. Find a translation.
Perfect.
So how long have you been, working on this, and what's the progress? Like you said, you mentioned that you started to sound like a banshee, and then as you continue, you're progressing, and you say it seems like there's an evolution that's happening to your soul sound.
It's true. I don't think I could recreate my original soul song or a soul language. It hasn't changed too much recently. If there's a big shift in my vibration, there probably will be another change. There was a time when it sounded a lot more like Gregorian chants. It's kind of moved away from that. I really like that part, but I can't hang on to it. So whatever comes out, comes out.
So it sounds to me like your soul song evolves over time.
Mm-hmm.
Do you ever like go back to the previous one before and still sing that? Do you keep that, or do you just like continue with the new one and then you kind of like lose the old soul song?
The song that comes through. I don't try to control it or go back to an older one. So as I said, I like the Gregorian chant thing when that was happening, but I can't go back and do that now.
Okay, I see. So just whatever comes through.
Perfect.
Nice. So, Dr. Judy, do you want to go to the next part? Since he's talking about, he gave an example of the sound, soul sound. I guess, what I guess I'm trying to say is that I guess I'm a little stuck now, huh? I have a little lost in my thought.
Are you trying to ask David more of a frequency through our communications, or?
Yeah, I guess I'm trying to construct this thought here, and I apologize, it's not coming through very clearly right now. But I'm trying to see the relationships with soul sound and how people like myself who do channeling and we get the information come through, but we just speak it out, just like a voice. Because soul sound.
I mean the channeling, but I think that would be David's version of a flow.
Of a low, okay.
That he did earlier when he was singing, and then we asked him what was that.
Mm-hmm.
That was a flow, correct, David?
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Okay.
So he has to kind of tap into, I guess, again, in our situation would be for you to kind of step back and then channel and then we speak.
Mm-hmm. But for him, it seems like it's very immediate. You just go through it really quickly. You just connect really fast.
Yes. Well, maybe David can do a demo of a flow to kind of get
sure.
the audience and Jung and the group to kind of.
Let's see if I can get a message here. Sunset, really fire. Dear beloved daughters and sons, I love you. This is Kuan Yin. I am so grateful for all the work that you are doing to bring light to Mother Earth in her time of need. I am grateful for the awakening of dragons. Their power is needed. Dr. Judy, I'm so grateful for your work, for your light, for your great love. I'm grateful for Porsche.
Love Porsche.
Porsche's light is infectious.
Yes, it is.
We're so grateful to have her on Earth at this time. Continue your work, continue your love, open your hearts. Your heavens teams are here to support you. Know that we love you. We are so grateful. How?
Thank you, thank you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you.
That was beautiful.
That's beautiful.
Thank you. So that was a flow.
Yes.
Okay. So to me, it seems like it's almost just, it seems like it's channeling. It's all this kind of very similar. Even the part where you're kind of twitching a lot.
Yes.
It seems like it's like it seems to me like the energy is flowing down through you and it's coming out. It's very interesting.
Yeah, I'm a shaker and a twitcher. I first experienced that with Dr. Wang. He had healing circles. And so we would all sit in a circle around, and at the auspicious moment, he would walk in and he would start doing his chanting and he'd do this big breathing. And so we were to keep our eyes closed, and we could either stand or we could sit. And I stood up, and during one of those sessions that I first started that shaking, and I didn't really understand what that was, and my thought was, well, I better sit down. So, and that's really how I became to understand when I was getting some real teachings and some real energy. And it was kind of a bellwether for me. So when someone was doing something and it's like, meh, or when someone was doing something and I started to shake, then I knew that there was some real energy behind it.
Wow. Have you ever gone through like the discernment process of, you know, like things that, I guess, the message that comes through you, you know, sometimes people don't know when they're starting channeling, or through this type of soul sound, I guess. There's a they don't the mind is kind of like not disconnected yet, so they don't know if it's their thought or if it's someone else that's coming through. It's how was your experience with that?
Had a big trouble with trust on that one, and that's really where it comes down to is when this happens, because it seems like one's own thoughts in my experience. So it's not like this little voice going, you know, whispering in my ears. So it really is a matter of trust. Linda Watson, which I understand you're going to have on the show here in a couple of weeks, has a beautiful connection with spirit, with heaven. And she was doing readings for us a couple New Year's ago. And she did a flow for me, beautiful message. And then she said, David, now it's your turn. And so I, at that point, really had to trust, and there was a message that came through. And then it's a matter of practice. So trust and practice, and as you move along, it's more message and less your own thoughts.
Wow.
That's kind of like when I started my first channeling. Jung kind of put me in that spot too. He's like, hey, Judy, your turn.
Sometimes we got to get pushed out of the nest.
Yeah.
I'm like, what? Am I ready?
I think we all push each other, because I remember when we were at ESETI and I first met you, Dr. Judy, she said, oh, okay, come here, sit. I'm like, oh, what do you do? I'm like, oh, I came here because I needed to find discernment, how to discern this gift that I just awakened in myself. And I was like, she said, oh, what is it? I'm like, oh, I do channeling. I said, oh, okay, great. I want to, let's try it out right now. I'm like, what? No way. I'm not ready for that. But yeah, it just took about just that night. And then it was a huge improvement after that. So.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah. I think that it's all about trusting our own self and knowing that, you know, there is guidance, and the more that we connect with our higher aspect, the more that we can be able to tune in to the messages.
Yeah. So David, I was just actually curious, like, from my experience, and it is, with my, you know, like how there's always something that triggers to get you into channeling. At least that's my kind of understanding. What was kind of like your start or your trigger to kind of open that door for you?
Well, when I first started, I would ask the souls of my inner souls that were involved with soul communication. So, you know, the message center and the crown chakra and all those things that are involved with channeling, with connecting with source. So I would ask them to open up, and then I would ask my heavens team to assist and to bless me so that I could receive messages. And so that helped kind of pre-stage things so that I could do that. I don't have to go through all that formality now, but that was a big help when I first started.
Oh, wow. And what was it like that first, do you still remember your first experience when you made that connection?
Well, as far as that channeling or reading it, oh, okay. No, it was actually before that. So I have an old camera, and at that point I thought I was going to use that for some kind of spiritual work, and I wanted to know the name of the camera. And so I picked up Master Sha's book on soul communication, and there was a little chapter on how to ask souls. And I found that often with our first experience, there's a little extra boost from source, from heaven, to help us out a little bit. So I asked if the camera had a name, and I got a little shake. So I went, okay, that's a yes. And then I asked, is it a female name or a male name? And I saw a flash of pink. So I heard, okay, that's female. And is that right? Yes. Another little shake. Okay, that's good. And then I said, okay, well, what's the name? And I just kind of quieted my mind for a minute, and in blocked letters, I saw the name Carla. And so I have a camera named Carla.
Very nice.
And so that was my first connection. I was pretty excited about that. I was jumping up and down.
Wow, that's really cool. Because I remember my connection was, there's a lady, her name is Alba Wyman, and she does hypnosis therapy. She's very popular on YouTube, so I got really all into her videos. And one time I was just like, she was interviewing, or she's hypnotizing this lady that has a connection to source, and she does like automatic handwriting, and I really wanted to do that. So then for some reason I had a hunch out, because I was listening when I was driving, and I got back home and I tried it, but then I got an epiphany, and I was like, oh, I should give my permission. So then I'm like, oh, okay, I'll give permission to the higher source of the light to connect. And right in and there, I felt like a beam of electricity through my crown chakra, and it just run through my hand, and it would start controlling my hand, and my hand was just starting to move by itself. And that's
fabulous.
And it was scary. It was very scary for me.
Yes, it can be a little disconcerting.
Yeah. I did all my prayers and everything, and I'm like, well, I think I've read enough about the subject. Let me just kind of like allow it to go, and then see what happens. And then that's where I drew my first dragon. So that was, well, it looks more like a dinosaur, but but yeah, that's yeah. So like I was just kind of relaying this, so that, because like soul communication, soul sound language seems like another, to me it seems like another, it's a form of channeling. That's in my mind.
It is.
A connection to source. And there's, to viewers, maybe they don't know the difference, or like the experiences of the subtle differences. I'm not sure, but it's a good way to kind of offer our own experiences to allow them to see, what's it like for an individual that goes through this, because it's not something normal, common, I guess.
Well, that's the thing. It is our birthright. Everyone is capable of, at some level, some communication with source. Everyone is a healer of themselves, and if they wish, other people as well. It takes a little work. I mean, you can't just, for some people, for a few people, it just comes very naturally. But for all of us, there's a lot of potential to be in connection with source and to be a healer.
Yeah. So where are you taking this now, that since you've been, well, I might digress, like how long have you been doing this for? Like
about 4 years now.
About 4 years. So where do you see yourself kind of?
Well, I'm working towards my day job is a meditation coach, and that's kind of interesting, and is a way to serve. But I would like to be at a point where I could walk away from that and have my own soul healing business. So that's the goal, and a couple of ways to get there. One of the things I am doing is writing a book called The Escalator of Enlightenment, and it's a book about our experiences, those of us who are on a path or are seeking. For those who are not, I had to end a relationship in part because of I was on a spiritual path and Kim was not, and it was it was challenging, and just kind of a way to explain that, this is not all genuflection and serious, that this is joyful and fun and worth doing, and not a threatening thing. So that's part of what I'm trying to do with that.
That's great. And are you providing services now, or for people?
Yes, I'm teaching courses, and I am providing services. I have a website called taoresonance.com. So that's TAO resonance.com.
And do you have I guess I was thinking a phone number too, but I guess that might be they can probably look that up on the website and get more information about you. But that's really cool. So yeah, because like it seems like I think Vivian, do you have something to say? I thought you might be on mic.
Do you teach? What kind of classes do you offer?
I'm doing let's see, what are we doing? We are doing a third eye workshop here pretty soon. I am going to offer again here this summer a soul photography workshop, where you connect with your camera, you connect with your higher self and your team and whatever you're photographing.
Oh, wow.
And that way you can make more impactful images.
Could you explain more about that? I think that's very interesting. That we was actually Scott's supposed to be here with us, and then so that way you can give like a demo of his, like give like a reading for his like painting of a dragon on his wall.
Okay.
But he's a little sick right now, and he wasn't able to make it here today. But I was wondering, like you mentioned about photography and photos and stuff like that. Can you kind of get some insight to that?
I have a bachelor's of arts in photography, and that was in another lifetime. I was I was busy earlier in this lifetime. I can't say that in this crap because we may mean previous lifetimes. But earlier I had I was a photographer. I did a lot of weddings and that sort of thing, and then kind of joined the .com revolution and put that aside. But it's been a challenge to find a way to combine soul, spirit, and photography. Does this person look familiar?
Of course. I was going to say, David did most of Porsche's amazing photos.
Really? Wow. That's really, really nice.
This image was taken in my garage a while back, and this particular image has been blessed, so I can actually offer a blessing through or with this image, which is kind of fun. One way to combine the photography and the soul world.
Can you do you have an insight in how that works, like the blessing, the energy with like photos and paintings?
Yes, I requested for my Heavens team that they put a blessing in on this image, and I got a yes, so I was very excited about that. And so this image in particular, it's not, if you see this image somewhere else, it's not one that is blessed, just this one is. So this now becomes an object that I can bless with. So that's very cool, and that's one way to move that together. I also have this image here. I don't know if you can see that.
Yeah.
And
Did
this
you
one
take that?
I did indeed.
Wow.
Wow.
Where is
that? Is this part of Oregon?
That's the Oregon coast. It's just south of Cannon Beach by about 5 miles.
Wow.
Place called Hug Point, and that too has a blessing on it as well. And I'm hoping that someday someone will own that and have that bless their home. So that's also available.
Nice. So I'm always curious about when, like, because ever since we've been started the Radiate Up, we've been getting a lot of blessings, in the spiritual realms, and like the pictures of blessings. But for people who are not privy just the word blessing, what does that entail? Like, if a picture is a bless, what does that give them? What does that?
It brings light and vibration into their home, or in the case of the bigger picture there, so that the home would be more harmonious. People in it would have more opportunity to move along on their own spiritual journeys. It is enhanced if they recognize that that's what it is, and say hello and respect it every morning. But it would still do things even if that wasn't present. So it's like the calligraphy behind Judy's head, same sort of idea. Perfect.
Yeah. So for those who are listening, they want a blessing, like if they're photography or pictures of photos to get blessed, please contact David. And yeah, it makes sense now. The blessing comes with not just one thing, I guess, like you can win a lottery or something, but it's to improve your overall aspects of your parts of your life.
Right. Yes.
That's really cool.
I would like to give a blessing with this image. Vivian, would you like to receive a blessing?
Oh, yes, please.
Perfect. Okay. Now you don't have to tell me what the blessing is. One aspect of, health, finance, relationships, whatever you would like. And let me know when you're ready.
Oh, and I still don't need to say anything? Just think about it?
Just think about it and prepare to receive. Okay, I will prepare here myself. Vivian, are you ready?
Yes.
Here we go. Blessing begins. How? Thank you.
Wow, that was beautiful. Thank you so much. I'm
Thanks.
so grateful. Actually,
Well-
that's something.
What was your experience?
I felt the chills, and then my body was like vibrating. It was like the most unique feeling. It was awesome.
Wonderful.
Thank
And your mood? How is your mood?
I would say like peaceful,
Excellent.
very mellow.
Beautiful.
Just that bringing that the love back again.
Very nice. Well, thank you for being a demo.
Oh, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you for that. Wow. You know, like the pitch is so high. It was like I'm just looking at the monitoring of like the decibel. It was just off, just flying. So yeah, I was just the tone is really high. And I noticed that with the Dr. Judy too, when she's starting to bless it, the tone's high, and I feel like is it consistent? Is it normal? Not normal, but is it pretty consistent for like, and so, what is it? Soul sound, that when a person that is giving a blessing, would it be that sound is kind of like very high? Does it go up? You know, it's hard to explain.
The other people I've seen give blessings is not so much. I mean, everybody has their own style and their own gifts and their own way to channel through.
I see.
That overtone that you're hearing in my voice is what Grandmother Ocean was teaching me with her soul song.
Can you, speaking about Grandmother Ocean, can you kind of give us more information about who's Grandmother Ocean?
So, Grandmother Ocean is a soul of Mother Earth, and she is connected to, of course, shorelines and Hawaii, and is the protector and overseer of fishermen and that sort of thing. I understand that in a past life I was a ocean singer, and so I apparently had a connection, and that's why I was called back, I guess, if you will, to pick up and learn a piece or two of that. So whenever I go out to the ocean, I absolutely say hello and dip my toes in the water, no matter how cold it is, and pay my respects.
That's cool. So, I guess besides,
Very lucky to get the blessing.
yeah, I can see like just like watching you were like twitching and you were reacting to
I
his.
actually felt it.
Wow. Was it like a cold shiver that you got, or?
Yes, it was like a chill, like almost like kind of like a breeze that just kind of like brushed by, and then you can feel it, like the body's starting to vibrate, and then I can feel a little tingling around my head too. Yeah, that was awesome. Thank you again.
Wow.
Thank you.
So people can probably get blessings through you like over the phone or on Zoom. That's usually.
Yes, and that's a nice thing. We can do it remotely. Saves a lot of drives down to Portland if you're in the Seattle area.
Or anywhere around the world.
That's true.
Yeah, it's amazing how the internet.
I've given blessings for people in India. That was fun.
Really?
So had a Flickr friend who lived in India and had someone they wanted me to bless. So that was fun.
Wow.
Someday I may get to Jaipur, but until then, I can still do blessings there.
That's awesome. Hi, Portia.
Yeah, so it's a great description of, because Vivian is in California and you're in Oregon, and she can actually felt that blessing. So there's no distance that cannot be. Right,
no time, no space, and that blew me away when I first figured that out. We are so very blessed to be able to offer services like that and not have and be able to reach like that without a lot of miles on the car.
Yeah, that's. I remember when I was at actually last year when I was at Conscious Life Expo, which is, I think it was just last weekend, right? Or was it this weekend that's going on, or coming this coming? Oh, it's the last weekend, right? So it's over already.
Mhm.
So I was there last year. It was one of those big conventions in LA that hosts like consciousness communities. A lot of famous people go there. So I was there and I learned about the blessings and the healing, but it could be done remotely. And I was very skeptical about it. I was just like, when I was at an exhibit and some people were like, yeah, we can actually perform healing just by giving you just have to send us a picture of yourself and they can perform healing. There's people who got good results, but I was like, how does that work? It just doesn't equate in my mind, I guess. But as we continue to journey, as I continue to journey into this, the spiritual realm, working on myself and all, I can see that being a very, it's very possible, and it's becoming more real. Yeah.
It's a shift to understand that in the soul world there really is no time and there is no space.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you find yourself in a really magical place, or you got in the middle of a blessing or something, I do this when I'm at Master Shot retreats. It's like, wow, I'm surrounded by all these calligraphies, all these high level people. I'm going to put kind of a marker there so that later I can go back and visit and receive that same type of energy. So that's something we all can do.
Wow. Yeah, it takes the mindset to shift perspective and to come to a point where, it is a possibility and it's very real, when you're getting certain feelings and reaction of, what am I getting? What am I feeling? Why am I feeling this this time? Is it a coincidence? It's just not in my engineering mindset at the time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I'm sure a lot of people who are not privy to consciousness, higher states, and in the spiritual realm, they haven't experienced that, and it's hard to kind of see that.
It's a challenge for people who are trained or just have the personality type that I need to know all the answers before I can move forward.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not how it works.
Yeah.
I get that in my meditation, my day job coaching meditators. I can just tell, and this is done over the phone, and I can tell just some people are trying to be the very best meditators and do it better than anybody else. And I can just see them going, trying to meditate harder and harder and harder. And it's less is more. Just kind of relax and be rather than do, and that's a big shift for a lot of people.
Yeah, it is, especially people, professionals, because doctors, engineers, lawyers, and whatnot, we're all institutionalized in of this modern academics understanding. So it's hard to deprogram that
in the professional fields, but when you get to this area of life and this experience, then that type of training actually works against you.
Yeah, it does. It took me a long time to break that mode.
Well done.
Yeah,
don't get there. So
yeah,
congratulations.
Thank you. But
beautiful.
Yeah. So what else do you do that you're working on?
The next step for me is to become a Guanyin lineage holder, which is a program again through the Master Sha program, and I have a feeling that's why Guanyin came through in my reading. So the first step is to learn the Great Compassion Mantra, which is the name of 87 Buddhas, all strung together. And that is a pretty big challenge. It was originally Sanskrit, and it was transliterated into Mandarin. So it's just a bunch of syllables strung together. And so that's kind of a test, a purification. Once you've memorized that and can recite it and sing it, then you're able to get into the program and receive the channel to Guanyin, which is amazing.
Oh wow! Is it like a course, or is it like how does that
Yeah, there is some training with it, and then there's a big transmission that goes with it so that you can get that channel to Kuan Yin.
Mm.
So that's my goal for this year, is to get that going.
It's very cool. So like when you connect, do you get visual representations of what you're connecting to? That's especially sound and light, all that.
My third eye perception is on again, off again, and often a small candle in a large room. If you've worked with Porsche or Linda or some of these other folks, they have beautiful third eye perception. I do get images. They are often representational. If there's a lot of virtue coming down from heaven, I'll see cherry blossom petals floating down. Very beautiful to watch. If there is a divine light being present, the more present they are, the bigger they are. So if I see the toe of Amitofo 2 stories high, then I know he's really, really there. So it's kind of a language as opposed to actually seeing what's there. So it's kind of fun to learn and decipher those things as you go along.
Wow.
Speaking of third eye, you mentioned before that you teach a third eye class. Can you explain to us a little bit about that? Or...
Sure. So the third eye is something that, again, we all have access to, and we all have more blockages or less blockages depending on our stories, our karma, our past lives. And so the idea is to build the foundation, the kundalini, the spot behind the navel on the backside there, on the inside of the spine. And building that area is necessary to fuel the third eye. And so that's where a lot of our efforts will be doing is building that foundational practices, get that energy that supports the kidney, the spinal column, and then eventually the brain and the third eye.
Wow, that's cool.
Awesome.
Yeah, Dave is this kind of classes.
I'm sorry?
You teach us this kind of classes. Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So if anybody who wants to learn to open up their third eye or speaking the soul language, you also do that.
Mm-hmm.
Now, is there like a process that you have to prep yourself first before getting into all these things, like for example, trying to open the third eye or like into channeling? Do you like have to like go through a detox or anything with your body, or how do you prep yourself first?
Well, that's where the spiritual practices come in. It's a lot of forgiveness practice. There's that foundational energy practices that I was describing. And opening up the heart is very important for any of the channeling, any of the communication. So practices that open the heart all are important for preparing you for that communication.
Thank you.
Beautiful.
Judy, do you have any questions?
No, I mean, I love to hear David with his classes and his options, but also the flow of how it just comes through dedications of practice. Not everybody's going to pick up right away, but the more that we commit and dedicate it and do the practices every day, it will continue to improve. Correct, David?
That's correct. That's that practice, that opening of the heart, that building up of the foundational energy centers that starts to clear all our channels so that we can start to receive the messages.
Mm-hmm. And the more that you do that, the more you build your confidence, correct?
Yes. And it's good to have teachers and guides along the way. Trying to do this out of a book, I could see being a really challenge. I'm very grateful for the local teachers that I have and to have discovered the teachings of Master Sha.
Yeah. And so I know we're coming up to the hour now, and I was wondering if Portia is going to join us at the 10 o'clock, and um,
I'm
My
here.
goodness. Hi,
Portia.
Portia.
she was hiding. So, like I said, David, we know we want to respect your time, and if you'd like to join us for another hour, we welcome you to join us with Portia and hang out. If not, we understand.
Well, thank you. I will stay as long as I have battery power on my phone.
Awesome.
That was amazing, everyone. So the only thing I want to talk about before David leaves is David and I also do a health empowerment support group together. So
Yes, you didn't mention that, David.
yes, on Monday night. So that's wonderful at 7. So David led the group this week, and it was wonderful. I actually heard from one participant. I said, "How was it?" Because I couldn't make it, and she said, "Oh, I was just crying and all of this releasing, and it was so good." So I was so happy to hear that. So wonderful.
Yeah, so if you're in the area in Portland or like all around the world, you know.
Yes, it's online, so you
Yeah.
can definitely join. Anyone can join. It's free too. So it's
Perfect. Yeah. We have a Facebook page called Empower World Health, and you'll find details there.
Yeah.
And that name kind of came to us through some flowing and some back and forth. It gives us a little room to grow. When we elbow Tony Robbins and Oprah Winfrey out of the way, we'll have a web page and a Facebook page with a name big enough for it. So we're excited about that.
Sounds good.
Well, actually, we really love I've been studying these people because I love Oprah. Oprah is one of my most favorite inspirational people ever, and she has this amazing network, and she really just connects with the heart. Everything she does, if you watch her, she's amazing. So I love everything that she stands for, very multi-talented. Just before David leaves, I'm going to show you this. This is a painting that I gave me from David. Can you see this?
I can't, not yet. Let's see. There you are.
Yes.
I see the reflection. I don't see. Is that the?
Yeah, this is the sun one. Can you see it?
The sun one. Yes. Okay.
Yeah, too much reflection. Hold on. Let me grab this.
Yeah, if you tilt the top forward, you can it reduces the reflection. Oh, now we're seeing the screen.
Better?
Yeah, that looks good. I can see it.
Yeah. It's
beautiful.
Sunset, sunrise and everything. It's so pretty. But David is really great with his black and white work. And then this one he gave me as well. This is lovely. He's very reminiscent of Ansel Adams. That kind
Yeah.
of yeah. Do you see that? Or you see the reflection?
I can see my reflection now. Coming through.
Yeah, if you.
There.
There you go. That looks better. It's like a desert. Is it in a desert?
It's like a rock.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's really cool. Okay, let me read this to you. So this was the rock that he talked about in his story that his co-worker brought to him, Michelle. Yeah, and then he found out that he needed to go back to the coast, drive 2 hours and take it back. Yeah, you guys heard that story?
Yeah.
So let me read the message. It was on September 19th, 2017. The rocks in this image asked to share their message in the highest light. Please let others know that every rock, every pebble, every grain of sand is love. We are divine. We are part of the great consciousness and the inertedness of the mundane. Please let others know that we serve heaven and Mother Earth, even as the waves break against us and feet tread upon us. It is good. Isn't that beautiful?
Wow.
Very
Powerful, yeah? So I trying to show you guys.
That's very
I love
deep.
Promoting artists. I love promoting my friends and artists. You probably noticed that already though, right?
Well, David did a flow earlier, and Kuan Yin came through, and she said, "You are an infectious light."
Yeah, that's so sweet.
She didn't mention the tiara though.
Yeah, I know. I wore my crown just for you folks. So, absolutely. I have a surprise though first. I
want to bring on, just because I love promoting my friends, and I know that everyone loves dragons here, so I have a big surprise for you. This is our artist Kit from the concert. She brought her collection of dragons for you folks.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and you guys get to pick one, and it's on me.
Hi, Kit.
What?
Promoting you, promoting Kit. So you pick one, and I will send it to you. I will pay her, and I will send it to you.
Oh, wow.
Isn't that amazing?
Wow.
Thank you.
Hi, kid.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, David and Kit know each other. They were at the art concert together. We just did. But yeah, show them some of your work, Kit. Can you folks see?
I got one of each.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
She's awesome.
That's beautiful.
Can you see that one?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Where is the? There it is.
Yeah.
Oh, that I could see that with Scott. His background dragons.
Ooh. This one's nice too. Look at this one. Can you see this one?
That's
Look.
gorgeous.
Wow.
A lot of color in there.
Yeah. Isn't that beautiful?
Yes.
Fantastic.
What happened?
So she's showing you, because you're going to pick one, and then I'll send it to you in the mail. I just sent some other ones in the mail to some people today. Isn't that
Hard
lovely?
to get it into the
It's
screen.
okay. It's lovely.
That's so cool.
Yeah?
It's almost like a constellation, like from the from the stars or something. That's the forming a dragon. Just the colors palette.
She's so good at this with graphic art and painting. She does all kinds of things.
These creatures are from.
Yeah.
Wow.
Love the colors.
Yeah. This is brilliant colors. So it's like very similar. Like all of them have just something a little bit different
Yeah.
about them. Yeah. So the coloration of it. But I really like this print. So whichever one you guys really feel like you want. Yeah, I want to send it to you as a gift from our heart to you folks for starting this magical show. Yeah?
Oh, sweet. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Very sweet of you.
Yeah. And we'll give one to Scott. I'm so sorry he's sick today. Yeah. So maybe it was a little bit quick for you folks, but what I will do is we'll use our guidance and we'll pick one of each for you folks, okay?
Sounds good.
Because it's really cool because she has from the dark, you know, really dark to like the lip,
Ooh.
you know? Yeah. So this one is
Wow.
more like underground.
It's got a neon look to
Yeah, very neon. And then you have all the way to like the white dragon, who's like just very like colorful, but like it's like they're in the clouds, you know?
Wow.
But it said it's like they are from outer space. Kit, why don't you tell them a little bit? Since she just drove all the way here. I'm like, can you come over? It's like cheers at my house. People just stop by. Everybody knows your name.
They're charagrins, and they're a creature that I just started seeing when I was a little kid. And they can visit people in their dreams, and they're basically live in nebulas, and they like birth stars and eat stars, and they protect planets, and they live in space basically, and they can come to other planets and visit for little short periods of time. But they're a very protective spirit in my mind, anyways. They
Wow.
look fierce, but they're really good.
Did you guys just get that part? I think it just went. They birth universes and they eat stars. Just in case you didn't get that, it's very powerful creatures we have with us. Yeah, absolutely. So we're gonna pick one tonight, and I will send it to you folks tomorrow. Okay? There's a post office right by my house. So we'll pick one of these fun, colorful, magical creatures, and you guys will all have the same print, just a slight variation for the Dragon Clan. I just thought that was a fun surprise. Yeah.
Yeah, great. Thank you. That was awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you for that. And what are they called? Cauldrons? Or did I catch that word?
They're charagrins.
Chargrin.
Chagrin.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
They're just like a type of dragon, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. What exactly does each part mean? Like their wings and
Well, they're like a totally farther dimension than we are. You know, they're just this magical being, you know. They just accompany a lot of different elements, and you know, they can visit the dream realm in my mind, you know. So
Very cool.
they're very powerful creatures, and they're great. So I love them.
It almost reminds me of what do they call that in Kieran or Keelan in
Yes. Mm-hmm. Kind of like.
who has like the wings and the legs of a horse. Is that similar?
Yeah, it reminds me a little bit of the Greek mythology, right?
Mhm.
There's also that creature that travels through time. Is it the griffin or what is it? The griffin that goes through time. It's like the lion's body, you know, the head and then there's snakes and things like that, and the wings of eagles and
Yeah,
things like
they're
that.
very much like a lion
Mythical.
dragon.
Yeah,
Thing.
lion dragon. We have those in Asian culture too, yeah, like the lion dance.
Yeah.
Yeah, everything is super magical here. Yeah.
So amazing, like all these like mythologies from all vastness of like different cultures, and it's almost like it's time to come. Yeah, it's birthing, surfacing.
Yeah, and you painted the dragon. You did graphic art for the cover photo for the your folks' website.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just some photoshopping. I'm not really privy in painting or all that.
Not yet.
Not yet. Well, I used to do a lot, but then I switched over my mindset from what is it? Was it engineer? What's the logical part on the right side? No, on left brain. So I switched from right to left. Now I'm trying to go back. It's very hard.
That's great.
That's
All
awesome.
right, folks, my phone is running out of juice here, so I'm going to bow out. But thank you so much for the opportunity to share my story, and it was a pleasure meeting all of you. And
Thank you. And
sometime perhaps.
where can people reach you again? Can you?
TaoResonance.com.
Great. So.
Thank you so much, David. We love
Thank
you.
you.
Thanks for coming
Love you
on.
very
Thank you.
Take care.
Take care.
Bye now.
Bye bye.
Hi, it's great to have him. Wasn't he cool?
Yeah, he's awesome. His experience and his connection, and just when he was giving like Vivian the healing was just amazing. She was just reacting. I was just observing. I'm like, wow, so cool.
Yeah. Vivian, can I ask generally what you asked for? Just generally. You don't have to be specific.
Oh, just basically, you know, for self-improvements, self-love, and working on myself pretty much.
Oh, that's amazing. Yeah, I could feel that blessing. I was on for most of David's episode. I could definitely feel that in the belly and in the heart. Yeah. You felt it all over your body?
Yeah, mainly like my upper. My
Yeah.
upper body.
Oh, good. I'm so grateful that he did that. Yeah. And it's good because you can actually feel it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was awesome. Though. I was just like, this felt so lucky.
Absolutely. And later, maybe we'll do a blessing for all of you folks, and so Judy and you and Dr. Judy and you have some blessing as well. So that would be good. But we can do that later. But yeah, so what I'll do is I'll have Kit pick out 3 for you, and then she'll probably go and we can do the rest of the show. And later maybe another episode we can have Kit on too. All of the artists. It'll be so fun. You know how much artists love to promote themselves. Everyone's hiding. I have to like dig them out of the I literally have to carry them up on stage sometimes and talk about them, how wonderful they are, you know? Because people don't like to talk about themselves. They hide. Like you can't find them when their names are called, you know? But it's so good for them, right? Kit, this is so good for you to bring you up and to be able to talk about the art. Even if they personally, you know, the first time might not be as fun, you know, and it might have all like these butterflies. I know people I invite that literally cannot get to a concert or a show. Yeah. So anyway, yeah, it's good for them. And then they get out and they feel more comfortable, and this next show is easier. And then, yeah, absolutely. So
Yeah. And it's good for us because we're all, this is all new to us too. So we're all growing and we're all, carrying each other's hand and just walking, to the light and just improving ourselves and bringing out the message to others. Because I think a lot, we each have our own stories to tell.
Yeah.
And other people,
Mm-hmm.
there's not other, but probably a lot of people that have similar stories too that can't get out. They're afraid. So, if we take individual courage, or we hold each other's hands and we walk forward, and then these shows like this where we're just starting up, and other groups as well that are doing similar things or have been doing for a long time, people would connect and they see this, and it would, encourage them to improve themselves or make something for themselves, so they can live the life to the fullest. And so it's great.
So true. Yeah, some people we hold their hands, some people we throw over our shoulder and drag them into the
Or
so once they're there, they feel that confidence and they make friends, and then they realize that there's more people just like them.
yeah, I was just had this crazy vision of like seeing my sister pushing her off the cliff and they say, "Okay, time for you to swim." Go for it.
In the first episode about how it's like, okay, now it's your turn. Okay, now it's your turn to read. Ready? Go.
Yeah.
And, no preparation. It's just, but that's how it works. You know what it is? It's flow. You know how we talked about that last time?
Mm-hmm.
It's the part of like allowing people to come through you. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Just coming through the body and the whole channel, and exactly what art is. Honestly, what this is coming from is from the universe.
Yeah.
It's tapping into our natural abilities to like what David was saying. It is our birthright to actually connect with our higher self. Dr. Judy's always talking about that. You guys are always talking about that. But it's amazing what can come through if we don't block it, if we don't get in our own way, and if we actually like Yoon said, support each other, hold each other's hand, get them up on stage, and usually what happens is you find a very supportive environment. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
People want to cheer them on. They're so excited when we do like raffles and they get to buy things that they won, and with this kind of thing, it's like everyone's a winner. That's what I love about stuff like this.
Yeah.
All like really winning every moment. It's not a competition. You just can't compete in this arena anymore. Once you hit that spiritual mark, it's just like, no, it's all about love.
Yeah. It's about pulling everybody with you and going together. It's what is that concept I learned? A win-win situation, right? You want to put yourself in the win-win where everyone's winning, and the world needs to be like that. We just had a recent event with our president and Kim Jong-un, and they met in Korea, right? Trying to find a perfect solution for a win-win. Fortunately, it didn't work out, but it's a step forward to something, that can be resolved in the future. So, so long as people are striving to not put themselves over somebody, like a competition, because that's kind of like the old energy.
Yeah.
We want to move away to that and move to something where the world can benefit. We're benefiting individually, people around our loved ones, the planet, the trees, the soils, the air, everything. Yeah, it's amazing.
Collaborations and coming together, working together, and it's not about like who's doing what better than who's. It's all like working together, for the same purpose of love, sharing love and knowledge and wisdom, and just getting people to like waking up and step up.
Yeah, it's
Absolutely correct. Yeah.
I was gonna add something to that. I keep hammering on. Oh, because that's right. This whole show I've been kind of brain fried because I had a long day at work. Just been really busy, but yeah, a lot. I was just gonna say that how like even the spiritual community, like the UFO community, would like everyone's like about a year, 2 years ago, even further back, people were just like arguing with each other all the time. You know, who's right, who's wrong. You know, it's like, oh, UFOs are kind of like, these spaceships are just mechanical, or the other side is talking about a more spiritual side, and it's all back and forth. But now you can see there's people working together, they're collaborating, and they're sharing information. Before it wasn't like that. And it seems like this new wave in energy that's coming through right now, and we all hear about it. The Schumann resonance is going off the chart. We're getting a lot of cosmic energy, and I think it's really affecting everyone. People getting more, their consciousness is expanding, and they're, you know, starting to, you can see it in a lot of the spiritual community. They're starting to work together, setting aside like all the nitty-gritty things that would have then separated them before, but now they're working together and collaborating. It's really amazing to see this.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think we really need it. We need it in our world.
Mm-hmm.
We need it in ourselves, but we also need it in our world. That's really important, I think, for everyone to blossom and know. This is the thing. I really believe, you know, since I learned so much from Divine Love, that there isn't a need to compete for resources and things like that. That's really an illusion. We have everything we need.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, it's just not distributed, you know, the way that it could be. Let's just put it that way, you know?
Yeah. And
more for everybody, you know, many times over, actually.
yeah, I mean, what is it? Yeah, David Wilcock, Benjamin Fulford, they say that we have a lot of money. It's just not, it's not being distributed correctly, to maybe like the 10% of the population or 1%.
Yes.
But those people who hold all that power, they're losing that power. You can see it in politics and economy these days. And there's a willingness of, even at a governmental level, like Russia, India, and all the things that are United States, you know, our politics is going haywire, and it's like the light's kind of shining through the cracks. And we're seeing everything that we weren't really seeing before in past presidents, past administrations. But here, everything's just lumped in one, and you're seeing everything. All the worst and all the greatness is all there for us to individually assess. So it's a very powerful time to be alive. So, you know, like, people who are listening, you know, like, I just had like some rough time at work, you know, just, you know, conversations, which we try to do our best to push forward with our project and everything, and everyone has some strong mindsets and disagreements and things like that. And, you know, just a daytime job, you know, it's just like, you care for your job, you care for your work because it matters to you because it's your work. But, you know, certain days, you know, it's just really tough, right? So I get let down or things like that. But the thing is, it's like going back and just like the blessings, you know, it just brings you back. You feel so much better. Or just the thought of like, I don't need this energy. I can just release it or reintegrate it, you know, just kind of like see it as it is and just kind of like step aside and just not have to react to it. And then just let it wash away, and it just gradually, you know, within, well, for me, it's like probably a couple of hours a day, but, you know, it feels so much better. And now it's like my mind is not there anymore. But you have to be engaging. At least that's how I process it. Engage with that emotion, with that energy. And yeah, I mean, I think it's there. It's a lot of information is available to us on the internet, so we can utilize and work on ourselves and improve. So
yeah, you know what, I like what you just said about you paid attention that you weren't in the vibration that you maybe wanted to be in, and so you were aware of it, and you just gave it your attention and allowed it to be, you know, and you didn't attach to it, you didn't detach from it, you just allowed it. And usually what happens, even with things that we have that are so heavy and so kind of negative, actually it will usually dissolve, because that's not our true nature. Our true nature really is love. It really is peace. It really is serenity. But just that we have these blockages within us, and also, like you say, outside forces, you know. So if we just allow it, and, you know, just allow it to be, and to honor and respect it and see it as sacred and divine, just like what David's soul message was, to honor everything as love, and then it will slowly return to that. It might take some time, but it just came to teach us a message, came to give us a little bit of love that we just need to pay attention to, and then if we give it gratitude and the love, then it will actually dissolve and leave, and our natural state will return, like you say, back to where you were, like right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the more I see it, I see a bigger picture now, for at least for myself, like these emotion things, it's actually very wonderful to, once you're in it, it sucks. Once you're inside the emotion, anger, resentment, and all that stuff, it sucks. But once you can step outside it and recognize it and just let it kind of sit there, and then you're like, oh man, I'm like becoming more humble about these energies that I have, because it's like, you can shift so many different ways. You can pick and choose who you want. It's like, do you want to be mad today? No, I don't have to be, but I can be. Do I want to be happy? You get to choose, and it's all your energy. So you have all that available to you, and it's kind of exciting. Think about it.
No, it is, and we're the creator of our whole reality.
Yeah.
We actually get to decide, and it's not. There's outside forces, but if your field is really strong and you really honor the power within you, and also honor what's happening to you, that it is just love and it's a lesson and a message, and then it becomes just more love. Then it's something that you learn from and you move forward from.
Yeah.
So it's yeah. But I'm gonna let Kit go because she probably has to leave. But I want to let her share any message that she has with us about love and art. Any inspiration for the artists out there, Kit, so they can feel your heart.
I'm put on spot.
This is a live show. We do not have anyone for this show. But any encouragement, like if you get stuck with anything, like right now, in fact. I mean, because these creations are so magical. Like, people look at them, like I look at them, and I really appreciate them, So, do you have anything to add, or any inspiration to share with people about these messages? 'Cause, like, Scott's not here today, so he'll see this episode later. And he's the one that painted this beautiful dragon and everything. Anything to share?
I don't know. I just I really don't know what to say. Like these creatures, particularly the Charagrins, they're just a special creature in my heart. I've really seen them since childhood. So, and I dream about them a lot. So that's kind of why I've drawn them. But this particularly is one of my favorite images of them. I don't know, they're good luck, and they're great to have around.
Okay, I know what the message is too. I can add to this, because when Kit was talking, I'm like, okay, let me tune in. So the magic that you see here, and that you see here, and all around us, that you are, it's a natural state, like what we were just talking about. And actually, all this can come through if we just allow it. And that was Yoon's message for us. So they were telling me it was correlated. So if we just allow our natural creative life force energy and love to come through, and we don't judge it, and we just let it flow, it can one day turn into something like this. You know? And this is fun, and this is magical, and this is who we are, honestly. We talked about before how the saints and the Buddhas would ride on dragons and on creatures like this, and they would transcend all of time and space, and and it's just beautiful. And Kuan Yin came through tonight as well with a lovely message. And so I would just say this honestly is our natural state of being, the love and the light, and we just have to let it flow and not judge it and not resist it. And one day we'll pick up a pen, and nowadays we can do everything on the computer. I mean, like, what a blessed technology that is.
Yeah.
50 years ago, we didn't have this, you know? And it would take forever for us to get a message through from one end of the world to the other. And now, literally, we just hit a button and we're transported in this whole new reality, this whole magical reality. And so anything is possible. And so that's the message. Let's tune into that message of love. Yeah? So I think that's the message. Anything is possible in any reality if we just open through the heart and let the love come through. Honestly, I love this. When I saw it, I'm like, Dr. Judy, I even told her after I came back from the concert, I'm like, I got a surprise. I'm gonna get you this dragon, you know? And then she's like, oh, thank you. And then I'm like, wait a minute, I'm gonna be on the show. I'm gonna get everybody a dragon. And they'll all have the same creature, just a slight variation. And you know what? Honestly, that's who we are at the heart, aren't we? It's like everyone here in Dragon Clan, you know, extremely amazing, magical people. But there's just slight variations that we have, you know? Maybe some of us are really left brain. Some of us are trying to get back over, like what you said. So in between sometimes, you know? And then it's beautiful because Vivian's like, and I'm just a stay-at-home mom. And I'm like, are you joking? I said, the mother is one of the, I revere motherhood, you know? I mean, honestly, I'm just like, how do you do it? You have children, they come out of your body, and all of a sudden, and I just say this because my nephew was born today.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you. At 7 p.m. in Hawaii. So I got a little picture of him, freshly wrapped from heaven. And I'm just like, the miracle that is us. I'm just like, whoa. But I revere motherhood because my mother took care of 4 children, you know? She took care of me. I'm a handful, you know? And then all of a sudden, you know, there's 3 other people, little miniature people that, you know, come out of people's bodies and they're just like waiting to be taken care of, you know what I mean? And you can't give them back, they're yours, you know? It's like, what are you gonna do? So I'm like, wow, I just amazed. And it's not even the physicality of it, it's just like the emotional, spiritual heart of love that mothers and fathers are, that can just take care. And I should say also even adopted children, do you know what I mean? They can just love, because at the heart and soul of everything, we're humanity, you know? We all bleed. It's not that we're going to be completely different no matter what color we are. This dragon, I don't know how many colors in between that we have here, but I'm going to say that this dragon also is part of our magic, you know? So yeah, there's a lot of messages, but that's just this one. Yeah, I'm like,
Beautiful message.
yeah, it's huge.
I'm so curious with that is it cauldron? What's that? Chagrin.
Yeah, when she met, I'm gonna have her before she leaves. I'll write the name of it actually. It'll be fun. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was just like, you get these visions of them all the time when in your childhood, like you mentioned. Do you? I guess what I'm trying to say is, do you have a connection? Like, or do you feel there's a connection, or like, did they give you a message or things?
Yeah, I mean, they used to. When I first saw them, I thought I was having a nightmare, and you know, because they were fierce and scary looking, and then I realized that they were actually there to like be a guardian. They're only fierce because they're a creature of protection, you know? Scare off the scary things, you know. And I used to dream about them. I still dream about them, but not as much as I used to. And you know, they would just take me on these great. It would always be in outer space, and I would see nebulas and like far off, crazy places. It was wonderful dreams with them, and so they inspired me a lot, and they're just such a great creature. I definitely revere these creatures. You know, they're just magical to me. So.
Wow, that's so cool.
Thanks.
Yeah, I'd never seen anything like that before. I never ran into that type of dragon. But I think it's amazing. How, you know, if there's is there any text or any materials about this, or is it just
These are just creatures.
these creatures?
Head, you know?
Oh, I see.
The thing is, no 2 Chargrins are exactly alike.
Mm-hmm.
They they're like, they just vary greatly. But this particular chakran here is the one I kept seeing in my dreams. But I would see other chakrans too, but they were different, you know. This particular one is mine.
Wow.
So, yeah. Well, just wait till it comes in the mail for you.
That's great.
Have you met the chakran? I'm gonna have Kit autograph it. Yeah, for you.
Yes, do please. Yes, thank you.
You know why this is so special and why I got the message why this is gonna be so good, because I also wanted to encourage Scott, you know, to get his artwork out there and really you know, and feel that love and that it's completely possible and people do want to adore him. And you and everyone that creates, you know what I mean? They do want to have these. When I saw it, I'm like, I totally want it. I saw it with the first concert that we did, and then I don't know what happened. And then she brought it again for the second concert. I'm like, oh my gosh, I need to have this because it's just magical. You know, there's just magical presence that comes out of art like this. And especially if it's just from a person's like mine, or, well, I don't know about this, but it's here. And then all of a sudden from the channel, through your body, through your hand, it comes on paper. And it's just amazing to me. So art is one of those like magics that we can't really like do anything but just feel it.
Yeah,
You know, move with it and flow. Because if there isn't a blueprint for any of this isn't a creature that exists anywhere but in Kit's mind. You know?
yeah.
This is powerful magic. I love magic like that. Even like kids, when they talk about things, they're like, oh, I don't think that there's really imaginary friends. There might be, but I think they might actually be secret. You know what I mean? I think it's actually pretty powerful.
Wow, yeah. I mean, I totally agree with you. I mean, just the whole aspect of art, because I used to paint and draw a lot when I was a kid until I started taking engineering classes. And I was, since then, I've been trying to go back. It's funny, I didn't tell you this, but I was a fine arts major as a freshman in college. Then I switched over to computer science. Then I switched over to computer engineering. So I got more to the other side of the brain. Yeah.
That makes sense though, because that's why you created that magical dragon.
Yeah, I mean, it's Photoshop, but before I used to paint and do all that. But I can see, like, when you paint, you can get lost in it, and you just pour your heart into it. And to me, yeah, you just flow with it. It's like, you know how like David was flowing with the soul message, soul song. Painting is like that, or drawings like that. It's timeless. By the time you're done, you're like, well, how long have I been doing this? 4 hours, and I'm not tired yet. Just time is lost. You're in like a new space or something. So it's really exciting. I mean, I'm actually excited to go back and do some more art again. But
because it's like your soul talking to you, and like Scott, right? He did that dragon in 5 hours, just like probably just straight. It's because it's coming, so you have to write. It's like a song or like a book or anything magical. You have to get it out. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You don't get it. You just get it out. Someone once told me that when I was writing. He said, what I can tell you is you just get it out of your system. Let it go from the hand to the paper or computer or whatever. I personally like paper and pen because I just like that feeling of the flow, you know, but computer as well. But you know what I'm hearing a lot? That we probably need to give more magic to and love. Everyone's like, well, I do this, but, oh, it's just Photoshop, but.
It's very true. Yeah.
Yeah, there aren't any, right?
Yeah.
It's all art and it's all the creation from heaven flowing through you. So we have to kind of like respect and honor and treat it as it's divine, and then more things will come out.
Yeah.
Let's just play that experiment. If we didn't, just try it. So this week, just don't preface anything. Just go, oh, I'm so happy. It's coming, like giving birth, you know?
Mm-hmm. Well, I don't know how that feels like.
I don't either. My sister does, but I don't either. But I know what the creative birth feels like.
Yeah.
And I also know, I'll tell you one thing that happened that was just super cool. I'll never forget it. It was one of our friends, actually, and she was so excited. She told me about this thing that finally manifested and happened, and actually a few of our friends, and they finally could do this experience that they've been waiting forever to do, like years, literally probably about 7 years, 12 years. And we helped each other, like what you talked about, we hold each other's hand and we push each other out to the light, or sometimes we shove each other out to the light, or sometimes the universe does it, but I felt this feeling inside of my heart and just explode. And I just started it's like cheering, and just, I was so happy for them. And then I was tuning in, I'm like, what is this? And they said, this is what happens when a dream unfolds. And I was like, oh, I like this. It was so fulfilling, and it's like that when I see other people succeed. That's why I think I have this heart to try to help my friends, because I see how they're just good people, and then when I see that they're talented on top of being good, I'm just like, this is a good combination. What we were waiting for. They just need a little bit of help, so I'm always trying to promote them. We do these creative art concerts. It's mostly so I can just see their dream unfold, and that's what you folks are doing on this show. That's why I'm so supportive of it, because every single time you're allowing people, like take John was a really good example of that, because I was talking with him and he's like, Portia, it's really hard to be promoted as an artist. And I'm like, yeah, I get it. But he's like, I'm so grateful for the opportunity, and you could tell it in his presence on the show. Yeah, he was so grateful, and he just exuded that love for everything, and gratitude. And then he just kept creating. You notice how creative these people are. And sometimes I'm like, okay, John, I know you can do this, but you can also play music. Can you get out a guitar? Because I know all these things about my friends that they just forget, Yeah. And then they forget how talented they are. But good thing I don't forget. Yeah. So, and to get people out there, because it's really important we help each other. So your show is doing that for people. It's allowing them a platform. Like Kit, even as maybe nervous as you were, you're not now, right? Yeah, we're just friends now, right? All the way around the world. These are all our, it's like Cheers. I'm telling you, your show is like Cheers. Everyone knows your name. And you don't have to get drunk. It's like drunk on love. You guys are so good. So good.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So I'll have Kit write her little autograph on here and put a little bit about that. And then maybe I could share a little bit of a message.
Yeah, please.
Okay. So how do you do that, Kit? Yeah, there's some pens. Yeah. And I'll have Kit address that to you folks. And maybe back here? Anywhere around there is good. Yeah. I think I have some on the right there. Yeah. So, yeah. We wanted to share a message about stepping up. So I wanted to wear my crown because I wanted to come back to the show since I have the title now of Miss Eco China. So I'm so
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Thank you, everyone. Yeah. So it's my greatest honor to promote artists like Kid, and then also your show. Hasn't this been exciting for you folks?
Yeah, yeah. We couldn't do it without you. Thank you.
It's not me. Thank you so much. But it's you folks, and all of us that have grown since I was the very first person on your show.
Yes, you were.
Yeah.
And you can't go back now.
I was just sharing with the group. You have the month of March all lined up for us.
I do. I have such beautiful friends, and I'm just like this person. But you know how it is. It's done by guidance, right? I literally just sit there and I open it and I'm like, who would be great to have on this show? Because it's such an amazing show. Everyone who I literally, they just send me messages after the show. They're like, I'm so thankful. I'm so grateful. Thank you so much for thinking about me. I had so much fun. Now that is something you don't hear a lot. You know what I mean? Like students talk about, I have to go to this job, and I have to go come back. Everybody has their own agenda. And then it comes to Radiate Up, and everyone's lit up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'm getting all these amazing messages. Thank you so much, because it is difficult sometimes to promote yourself. So it's nice to have other people that, like you said, hold your hand, that care about you. And so many people have done that in my life. that I have to give back because it's the flow of love, you know, or else it stops, you know, and it doesn't end here because when we help people, the karma comes back, the good karma comes back in virtue, right? So you folks are actually promoting people. So what happens is you get promoted. People get to know who you are, get to love the show, and you're spreading positive vibes everywhere. This is a now it's on YouTube. Before it was just Facebook, right? And now
Yeah.
you've blossomed out to the YouTube community. Welcome, Radiate Up.
Yeah.
And you is doing an amazing job with the graphic and the technology too. So
Yes,
we're all growing.
Yeah.
absolutely. Every show, and then the last time I saw it, it was like with John and James, right? And they're all incredible people. And then there's dragon logo, and then your logo on the bottom, and I'm like, oh, we're in the big time now.
Yeah. Learn some new tricks on YouTube.
No, that's the thing. We learn from each other, right? And I'm sending folks things, and you guys, you can feel free to send me anything that will make me, you know, better and you know, and promoting and things like that too, because we work all together, you know. And I think that's the love of what's happening this year, the collaboration. Remember?
Yeah, definitely.
So it's super super fun, and so don't let me not give you guys a blessing at the end, because I want to do it with one of our art pieces, our prosperity tree. So, Judy, were you at the concert? You were, right?
Yes. Yes.
So I have one of the prosperity trees, and that's for success, prosperity. So I would
Wow. Congratulations.
yeah, I will want to do that because Dr. and Master Women blessed that. So
Wow.
yeah, so it's gonna be great. So I will do that at the end. But I think I wanted to share a message of taking on responsibility. And we were talking about, actually it was one of your shows I caught, and it was about stepping up into higher responsibility and you know, as Dr. Judy. I actually really love how she I don't know, do you ever watch these episodes afterwards, Dr. Judy? Do you ever watch yourself?
I do.
Do you? That's good, actually, because you can learn a lot, you know, because a lot of it is flow. Do you see how strong you are when you come across sometimes? We're gonna step up and in. We have to step up as light workers. We have to take on the world. We're gonna, you know, I'm like, yeah. Absolutely.
Well, you know, there's a time when I'm speaking, they are actually channeling like through me. It was like when I'm talking about the dragons, how awakened and how we need to call on these souls. I could feel their energy coming through me and like speaking.
Yeah, that's why I brought it up, because you know, normally this very sweet woman, you know, she's very sweet. And you talk to her, right? She's very sweet. She smiles a lot. You know, she's very quiet. All of a sudden, you're like, oh my God, coming through. And you know, that honestly is her guidance and her heaven's love coming through. Because you can see the difference.
Yeah.
You know? And it's the divine actually speaking, and it's speaking through all of you folks. That's why when you do this show, and your vision and your goal is actually to radiate up, you know, for people to actually elevate and to become one and become united in their actual soul purpose and mission. You notice that that's what this show has become. It's people that are very passionate about bringing the love and the light to Mother Earth. And listen to Dr. Judy, because I've listened to a couple of shows. I want to get the sense of everyone and everyone's growth and love, and I just enjoy it. And she's like, we have to rally the troops. It's time, you know, we have to hold down the light. And then you were saying that, and then Vivian, I was listening to them, you know, it's very quiet and sweet. Then all of a sudden she's like, we have to hold down the, did you guys even listen to yourself? I was
No, you don't analyze it like that.
okay, you don't need to, because I just did.
We have you, right? We have you to do it.
Absolutely. You have me, so you don't need to do it. But what I'm trying to say is it's really fun to watch people's growth in a very fun and magical way. Because what you folks are doing is you're bringing in people that are very passionate and are very aligned with their mission. So you also are going to come out that strong, and you also are going to, we're all evolving together. It's the soul of this show actually to do that. And you named it Radiate Up, like heaven gave you that name, you know?
Yeah.
You know, Portia, how you describe everything about Radiate Up, about the group, about how we came up with that name was downloaded, and they were telling us that even our sign was our logo that we created, that they were telling us that when that logo hit, everyone's going to recognize the meaning, and everyone going to be able to feel that energy that radiate up. It's radiating the energy, and you just described it perfectly of how when we were channeling that while we were going through our logos and the name, it's exactly how you described it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel it, because there's intention and vision in what we do if we're aligned. Also, if we're misaligned, there's intention and vision in that as well. You know, because we get it, the universe gives us exactly, it's so amazing, because it gives us exactly what our energy is instantly, you know. And so we want to try to make sure we're always in that positive alignment, because that will manifest really good things and high level people, you know. And that's why the show's been so successful. It's not anything to my part, but it's your folks' energy that's driving it as well, and also heaven's energy. Yeah. So
It's yours too. So
it's a little bit of mine, but
your infectious energy.
it's really fun. I just try to bring on fun and magical people. I'm like, who could be fun today? Let's have Kit come through the door and knock, and right. Judy and Yuna and everyone. It's Vivian. Yeah.
Yeah.
So fun. I'm like, what could we do this episode? You know. But anyway, yeah.
You can see so much light in Portia.
It's fun. It's so fun.
Charismatic side of her, and she's just like a very beautiful soul.
Thank you. We have a lot of fun. So I guess the message I want to share, I don't want to keep you folks too long, although I know that you could carry on hours by yourself.
Yeah.
And often do. The first time I was on the kid, it was really funny, because the first time I was on, I think we were up till 2 or 4 in the morning, or at least 2 after the show. They had like an after show party. It's like the Oscars. Behind the scenes. So after we finish the show, this is actually how you can tell. And this isn't anything, you know, but what the truth is that you can tell if people actually like each other, because there are some people in entertainment that on the camera they're one way, but behind they're not, and they don't get along. These people actually really do love each other, and so it's really great to see they actually are a family. That's the funnest energy to be around, because they're aligned with what's on the show is actually what's off the show as well, you know. And so the truth and the wisdom that they speak on, they actually try to live that as well. And I've known Dr. Judy for a little while, so I know that she's been really great on alignment, and I can't wait one day to meet Vivian and Yoon all together, you know. When you folks go up to Washington, you let us know, so maybe Terry and a few other people, now you know kind of our soul family as well. You're meeting like everybody
Yeah.
on the show. So
one big soul family.
Yeah.
It is, and hopefully like the whole world, you know. But I've really enjoyed the episodes, honestly, to tell you the truth. Like the people that have been on are really interesting, fascinating people, you know. And I learned
definitely
from everyone, you know, if you just listen. And this is the thing, you know, and myself, because I speak a lot, I have to learn to listen more. So that's why I love listening to the show, because I love taking the time to actually listen to people's passion. You know, it's very exciting when they talk about what they love to do and their whole story. And, you know, and I don't think anyone's story has been really easy. Like, this just happened to me. This magic just came through. There's usually a little bit of turmoil, let's put it mildly, you know, before the awakening happens, you know. And what's good about this show is it inspires people, because it lets them know that they're not alone, you know. Like James, for instance, he talked about how he had to actually leave his corporate job. He heard that, and you can't go back. Once you hear it, you know, it's just like me, actually. They told me, my guidance was, that came through, that they wouldn't actually support me in my job anymore, because they had been supporting me all that time. And so I needed to transform. and I needed to completely change jobs.
Wow.
Yeah, that's actually my guidance. So I was like, there was no going back. There wasn't any going back to it. And that's what James said too. He said, once you hear the calling, if you try to go back, you're going to learn very difficult lessons. The karma is going to come up and accrue, you know? And a lot of why the karma comes up too is because we don't take immediate action. We kind of sit on it and we're kind of like, oh yeah, I'll do that today. And then who just said that before today turns into tomorrow, turns into next year, turns in 20 years later. And then it's still like you're living the same thing, you know? But you actually have to, if you take immediate action on the guidance that you've been given, then the karma won't accrue. Karma just being the record of services that you've done before, and maybe things that you've done before that haven't exactly been wonderful. And so all that comes back to you as well and kind of builds up and just tests you. But it's only doing that so you can move forward, you know? So it's really, really amazing. And I think a nice experience that I could share is why I also wanted to do this pageant was because I wanted, okay, this is a really funny story. This is cute though, I really like this. So you had Terry on the show, right? Terry,
Yes.
that was fun, right?
It was awesome.
Yeah, maybe we can have him back. But I had a question. I was in meditation a few weeks ago, or it's a couple months ago, actually. It's a couple months ago. And I'm just like, I got out of meditation. I'm like, I'm not really doing enough. I could live bigger, dream bigger, you know, be bigger, and could help a lot more people. So I'm like, I need a crown. That's actually what I came up with, my meditation. I'm like, I need a crown. And then I'm like, I need a bigger platform. I need a crown. I need a bigger platform. So I kept repeating this. And I'm like, this is a little strange. And so I trust my inner guidance, but I'm like, I can't really put this together. And then I was thinking, so you mean that you want me to actually do a pageant? And I actually gave up pageants a very long time ago because I saw a negative side of pageants I didn't really like, but most of it I know is coming from myself. You know, sometimes in pageants you see the real like pretty things about it, you know, like the pretty crowns, everything shiny, the people are shiny and they're really beautiful and very talented and everything. But also if people aren't in alignment, and I'll just speak for myself, then sometimes there's an ugly side to people, yeah, negative, and don't treat people very well, yeah, and everyone's equal in the universe's eyes. So we should try to emulate that, you know, and be that. But anyway, so I left pageants because I saw another side I really didn't like. And I also saw a lot of competition in people, but it's mostly coming from ourselves as well because it's reflected back, right? And I gave it up a long time ago and I didn't ever really want to go back because I saw that side. So fast forward into that meditation, and then I called Terry up and I said, you know, Terry, I have this question. And then he said, you know what, right now I don't have time because I have to go get a crown. That's literally what he said. Then he said, because my tooth is, you know, I need a crown and I have a 4 o'clock. So I really need to go get a crown. So he kept saying this and I'm like, done. So I just started laughing. I didn't even ask him. And he's never said that to me, you know? So I just thought it was really funny. So I'm like, you really want me to do this pageant? And they're like, yes. So that's actually why I'm doing it. It's because that was my guidance, you know? To have a bigger platform, and for all the activities that we're doing with Divine Love and the concerts and yeah, so now I'm going to take on this bigger opportunity, which I never really thought about. But you know how things like effortlessly happen in your life, but you're not paying attention?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm finally paying attention. Congratulations, me. Yeah. So what I've been noticing about myself is I've been doing all the flyers for the concerts and putting together these concerts and getting the band together and writing songs for the past few months. And I am a writer, but I've been writing mostly TV and script. But lately, it's just been the flow where the songs would come to me and the melody. That's how we got the Love, Peace, Harmony song. The melody, it just came to me. So I started to sing it to James. And James was so great. We're going to have him on the show, you know, later when we have the band on the show in the next week or so, or you know, we do that. But he never said no to me. I'm always like, James, I heard this, you know, because the regular melody for that song is something very classic by Master Sha, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But I just started singing this other melody to him, you know. I love my heart and soul. I love all humanity. Join hearts and souls together. Bring love, peace, and harmony. And I sang it to him, and he's like, could work, Portia. I'm like, all right, let's make it work. I love people like that. When people tell me that on the set or jobs, I'm like, can you make this work? They're like, we can make it work. We'll make it work. I'm like, I love people like that. You know? Because honestly, that's what it is. The universe and everyone, they're just trying to make everything work for us, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes we're the stubborn outlier, you know, we're way over here and we're supposed to be going this way, but then, so they have to kind of like bring us over. And sometimes they have to knock us down or kind of shift us so then we can get back on track. And, you know, for some of us, right, it goes like this, like, you know, want to kind of try to track us and get us into alignment because that works the best, you know. That's the channel should hopefully, but you got to remove the blockages. All the this, that, and over thing is all the blockages, right? So we got to remove that. But yeah, I was just noticing in my life, I'm like, huh. So I had this conversation and I'm like, so they're like, yep. And I'm like, so you want me to actually do this? We're just gonna work with the band and write songs and spread love, peace, harmony, and work with some other people and promote this message and take it out to the world. And yeah, the latest thing I heard was like a world tour. So I'm like, really? That's what you want? And I'm like, pretty much. I'm like, okay then.
Wow.
So, yeah.
That's awesome.
That's kind of what we're gonna do. And so we have the third Divine Love concert in Hawaii in March, you know? I'm still trying to figure out how I can get to the Big Island. You folks are still doing it, right?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
You're doing it March 15th to 17th?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'll try to figure it out. I'm only going to be there. I'm only one island away, right? You're at the Big
Yes.
Island.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I heard, so are you bringing John down?
John's coming. He said there's going to be 10 million dragons.
Well, because one wasn't enough, apparently. That's what happens. That's what happens when you set the intention and the vision, though. You know, that's the thing. Okay, you know what I learned this week that was really, really interesting to me? This is the thought that came to me that we don't always think about, but it's like I was really just sitting in gratitude about all the different blessings and the love and everything. And I'm just like, my heart started to open and I just started like crying because I was like, oh my gosh, we're so blessed. It's like one thing after another. And I just saw all of these things. We have blockages. We have a lot of things that, you know, that go on, yin and yang. You know, we have all that because we have to also appreciate our life, you know, and the blockages and the karma, because then we can appreciate the blessings more. Because if our life is so easy, you know, there's no way. And in fact, it's like Kit, right? If she was just, you know, no, it takes a little bit of trial and error. You know, it takes a little bit of effort and work and, you know, putting all the colors together and seeing what works and what doesn't work, you know what I mean? And coming up with beautiful creations, you know, because this is just one of many that she does. I have a fish one too, right here, actually. See, I was completely ready to promote it. Even if she didn't show up, I would just promote it. Because I love art, but like things like this, isn't that lovely?
Yes, that's beautiful.
Yeah, so this is an abundance. And see what it means is the abundance. The koi is the abundance. So it's just lovely things, you know? But anyway, so I realized that heaven and you know, the source and just everyone is just actually waiting to bless us every moment. The door is like wide open. It's just sometimes we have to figure out the path to walk through, you know?
Yes.
Really thinking about that, I'm like, I've seen so many blessings come through and just everything one after the other. And you know what does it too is gratitude. Gratitude is a really big opener for that door. Gratitude, I would say, is the key.
I can attest to that. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think it's one of the best ways to actually catapult our spiritual journey and just our life. Because in one moment, I'll tell you why. In one moment, you just sink into the gratitude of just, you start naming off all your blessings. And a lot of times when we're going through a lot of testing and purification, we don't see that. We see the negativity. We see, I didn't get this on time, it didn't show up, or it just, it gets really negative really fast. But it could almost go the other way really fast too. Like, oh my gosh, I have my health. Yes, maybe something in my body hurts or a few different places, but I can walk, I can talk, I can speak. I can spread all this magic. I have a job. There's a lot of people that don't have a job. I have family. I have people that love me and support me. I have my soul family. I have my art. And what Kit creates, no one else will ever create on this world. What Yoon creates, no one else will create. What Dr. Judy can do, no one else does. No one else is going to be this amazing chiropractor that can open up all your channels by touching one point on your body. No one's going to be Vivian, mother to her child in the way that she can do it, in her soul way, in her heartful way. No one on this planet is you. So I was just contemplating all of this, and I was like, wow, we're pretty amazing, not in an egotistical way, in a kind of like, there's no one going to be like us on earth ever in this very moment. Yeah,
We'll definitely carry a unique quality in each souls.
yes,
And that's what makes humanity so beautiful, is being able to access our own soul full potential.
absolutely.
I mean, you could see that at an individual level, and then you can see that as an entire planet. The planet's so diverse
Yes.
that, every little single speck is so unique. Every single species out there, there's so many uniqueness. We individually are also unique as well too, and it's very exciting actually. You look around at other planets, Earth is very not common.
No.
Yeah, it's
The more that we begin to appreciate the little things, the more that we see the awe of life form, that not just for humanity itself, but within Gaia, the sea creatures and the plant kingdom. And the more that you understand the plant kingdom, you're just like, what? They sing too, and they,
yeah, it's just like going back to that.
are love, and it's just like, they have feelings too.
Yeah, just like that picture of the rock that you showed to us, and
Yes.
wow, it's very powerful. Just a rock can have so much meaning and purpose that you tend to forget.
Yeah, I saw John, he actually posted on Facebook. You guys
It's amazing.
saw that, right? He said that if a child gives you a rock wrapped up as a gift,
Oh, yes.
take it, because it's their magic. That's what they can offer to you, and it's priceless,
Mhm.
And it is so true. And people do, we all have our own magic, and we have to appreciate that more, not in a egotistical kind of way, but just in a way that really embraces all the love. All of the love of the universe is actually put into us, and each person has a very unique path that only they themselves can walk. So that's why we're out pushing people and holding their hand and carrying them on our back, and really flying and soaring together. You guys are fortunate because you have dragons, and Kit, right? Because this creature no one even knows about, and so it's a very amazing phenomena. And so that's part of the reason I think that it's really necessary, in a very loving and cool and dynamic way, to step forward, step forward and actually live it, and be about the love, like Gandhi talk about being the change in the world that we want to see. So I wanted to read this message to you. Can I do that?
Yes, please. Yeah.
Yeah, it's about taking on higher responsibility. Now, this is an interesting one, because I know when a lot of people hear this, and when I was like, yeah, that word, like taking on more, or even service or responsibility, people sometimes they cringe at it because they're like, oh, I have so much to do already. Like, how am I going to do something more than I'm already doing? You know, I'm already at capacity. But the thing is, when you do it with love, it's a different vibration. It's the highest vibration that you can move to. And love never fails you. And love will always create more love. It's love is creation. It's the manifestation in and of itself. I mean, look at our world. Like honestly, love moves people like nothing else. I mean, you can see all different kinds of love, you know, but really it's a mover and a shaker, you know? People commit their whole lives to each other. People commit to a path. People commit to a job or, you know, run all across the world looking for it. We're all hungry for that, you know? And so the people that have it, I'm totally with you, Radiate Up. The people that are feeling that love, that you're bringing on the show and you're feeling it all together and have this passion and enthusiasm, it is our responsibility to step up and step in. Yeah?
Yeah.
Step into the love. So I want to share this with you. It's actually a shorter message, but it's from the Divine Love book, and it's taking on higher responsibility. When you feel deeply responsible for others and the world, you allow me to fulfill the responsibility through you. You allow me to fulfill your magnificence. So don't be afraid. Take on larger and bigger responsibilities. Let the responsibility open you and expand you so that more of brilliance, power, intelligence, beauty, love, bliss can radiate out from you. So I want to tell you a secret about how to receive more of my love and live as divine love. The secret to feel responsible, the secret is to feel responsible and take on responsibilities. The more responsible you feel, the more you can open your heart and the more you can allow yourself to give and receive. Feeling responsible is one of the best ways to open your heart for my love. The higher responsibilities you feel you have, and the more deeply and sincerely you feel being responsible, the closer you are to me. Some of you are afraid of responsibilities. Some of you wonder whether you are capable of fulfilling responsibilities. The truth is, you are not the doer. You are the enjoyer. The doer is I. You are not the one who fulfills the responsibility. I am the one. All you need to do is to feel. When you feel deeply responsible, you allow me to fulfill the responsibility through you. You allow me to fulfill your magnificence. So don't be afraid. Take on larger and bigger responsibility. Let the responsibility open you and expand you so that more of my magnificence, power, intelligence, and beauty, love, and bliss can radiate out from you. Be one with your responsibility. Feel your responsibility deeply and sincerely with all of your heart, with all of your soul, with all of your body, and with all your mind. Take time to let this feeling sink deeply into you, to melt with you. Responsibility is your power activator. Responsibility is your heart opener. Responsibility is your gate opener. Taking the responsibility for the whole cosmos is the enlightenment. My beloved child, take the ownership of all universes. Start to feel the deep, sincere, and passionate responsibility for all universes and all beings. Isn't that beautiful?
That's gorgeous. That's
Wow.
amazing.
Powerful.
So deep,
Yeah.
but so meaningful.
Yeah, absolutely. It's on page 88. That's a good luck number. I love those. 8 is
Oh,
good luck. But yeah, so I just wanted to share that because I feel like that's a real poignant message for like all of us, myself included. And that's one of the reasons why I wanted to do this pageant is I just felt like, um, you know, when we really sink into like what we've been blessed with, we realize that we have to use what we've been given. We really have to allow ourselves to open and step out, even though sometimes it might seem like it's a little scary at first, you know, but it's okay. Like you said, we're gonna hold each other's hand. We're not alone doing this. That's why your show is so great. It's like you have a panel of people, because it wouldn't be the same if it was just one person, you know. And I love this little thing we have going on with interviewing one person the first hour, one person the second hour. It's so great because then people don't have to wait for another week to like, oh, we have to, yeah. We can actually have more people to share their love with everyone, you know, and it's so great. So yeah, that was kind of the message I wanted to share, because I felt like so incredibly blessed to be able to know all of you and to help with the show in some small way, you know, and also to, you know, promote all these amazing magical people together. I can't wait for like the Radiate Up Summit.
Oh, that's be awesome.
We're working on that, right?
Yep.
We are working on that.
Good.
Sometime next year.
Absolutely, it's gonna be so amazing. Yeah, and all the events coming up, it's gonna be wonderful. But I just think it is time. We need to do this, you know, and so we can do it together, and it's so much more fun that way.
For sure. And I just want to say congratulations on being Miss Eco. And I think you are the perfect person for this, because the platform that you are given is going to not only bring a lot of these uh, alternative healers to the norms. There's a lot who could use that. Promotions, and you, like Guan Yin said, is very infectious. So I'm so happy for you, and um, thank you for being a part of our growing family. So thank you so much for that.
Thank you.
Yeah. It's always a blessing to have you, just the joy that you bring.
Yeah, so much wisdom that, you know, a lot of people who are listening can, you know, pick up and learn. It's just, you just have so much wisdom and so much knowledge to share. It's really important, I think, for people who, it goes back to that responsibility again, to feel the need to spread it, or to be the responsible person to share that, to bring that out, and then other people will benefit from it, for sure. Definitely with my experience, I've gained so much from other people who have shared on YouTube, whether it's through, you know, YouTube or books and whatnot. I've scoured everything I can get, all the materials to get the knowledge and the understanding. So really help.
Yeah, and I just want to go back to that last phrase, that responsibility aspect, that when we recognizes our sole purpose of what we are here, what was our calling, and just basically just accept and step into it. And it's truly through the just our past experiences within less than 6 months, hey, or so, right, guys? August till now.
Mm-hmm.
Truly, they are really guiding us. It's not us who's really doing the work. We just like, okay, we're ready. Where do you want us to go now? Well, we are taking on that responsibility as what our soul is here to do. We're accepting that fully and committed. And they literally do all the work. How they connect us with you, and then the lineup of all the guest speakers. And that's just where, when they say, you need to go live, you need to share this information, you know, put yourself out there, you're ready, just do it. And then
I want to congratulate you on that. Actually, what you just said was big, because it seems like it's a small thing, but that's what I talk about. Like, there's a little bit of effort and work that goes into it. It's not easy. You have to figure out how to get the show from social media and what's the right channel, and finally YouTube. You have to test some things out, and the sound and the people and the dynamics, you know what I mean? The lighting, everything has to be like on cue. So there is a little work involved, but the beautiful thing is, like we just read, that we're just the enjoyers of it. We have the privilege of actually doing it, you know. And the thing is, you folks stepped up. That's why I really wanted, that's why my guidance was, no, these people are doing their thing. I need to help them. That's actually what I get. I don't just arbitrarily, you know, just go out and
Volunteer.
I don't. I just, because I see good people that are in alignment. And when I see that, and then I tap in, they, you know, my guidance is, they usually tell me, help this person, you know, because we only have so much time. We're just not, you know, we don't have all the time in the world, you know, at this point, because it's really critical. That's another thing. It's a very, like what Dr. Judy talks about, and Vivian and Yoon, it's a very critical time in the world right now. So what you folks started with the show, Yoon was talking about, and Dr. Judy was talking about, we can actually step up and step in, because the time is now. Because before this, it never happened like this, where so many downloads, blessings, gifts, empowerments, higher level wisdom is coming through so quickly.
Yes.
This hasn't happened in the history. And all, if you studied, or at least that's been my estimation, so I should say that what I've studied, this hasn't happened like this before, and it's happening so we can actually really move forward, you know. And the thing is too, I have to give all my love to like Master Sha and his inspiration and empowerment, because it's actually, Yoon was so kind to talk about the wisdom. I didn't really know a whole lot of this until, I think it was 6 years ago. I started studying the wisdom, you know, and Dr. Judy knows very well, yeah, we owe a lot to the people that came to empower us, you know.
I totally agree on that. You know, studying from different masters, what I've gathered is Master Sha really bring forth the wisdom of like the Tao, of ancient knowledge to humanity in a simple format that can easily be digested for, you know, people who read his material, or who really dive in and try to understand it. And the more that I kind of assess and look back and try to compare to different teachers, they all try to bring forth that information too, but the way that he brought forward is way more
The higher,
profound.
yeah, empowered. It's
Yeah.
true, and I've studied a lot. I've studied. I have 2 degrees in health education, commercial promotion, commercial health promotion, and I haven't seen this kind of feeling. It's actually pretty amazing, and you know, he won't be teaching probably publicly for a little while, so this is really great. Oh, I wanted to tell you also, I have guest passes for the Dao Chong. If you guys ever want to jump islands, I bought actually for the Dao Chongs, but I have 4. Just you guys can get to. Kit, do you have to go? Yeah. Love you so much. So we're gonna say goodbye to Kit.
Thank you, Kit.
Bye. Thank you, Kit.
So much.
Thank you.
Yes.
So happy. People like drop by.
Bye bye.
I'll give you a hug. Okay, thank you. Love you.
Bye, guys.
Good night. Bye bye.
It's so fun, huh? Never
It
know who's gonna
Yeah.
come next.
So I know we have like we'll wrap up in another 30 at 11:30. Couple more minutes.
Yes.
Portia, I want to have last minute words, and then you also want to do blessing too.
Oh, absolutely. If you folks want me to. If not, it's fine. But I just thought it would be nice.
Well, sure, yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Because the viewers can receive it too.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, here it is. So this is Monica's prosperity tree. It's so lovely, yeah?
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I interviewed her on our show, and so I have to have you guys on our online show. We started that, and I also have a television show we started as well. We went down to the television station. That's why I said it's like one blessing after the other, and it's so great because we can all promote each other. You know what I mean? And really help promote people that are really living their passion and really helping others in the world live their passions. You know.
Yes.
So this prosperity tree, she took, I want to say 2 years to complete. I don't remember.
Wow.
I think it was a little while. So it's this big mural. So you've seen the pictures I held up. It's like 4 times the size of that. It's huge on her mural. So, and she studied art and all of that, graphic art as well. But this one she painted. She's not even a trained painter. But if you see closely,
Yeah, could you bring it closer? Oh,
sure.
wow.
Okay, now you see all of those little fruits and everything?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
This she calls the tree of life, actually. And it is the dream or the success realized in these little fruits, in these little circles on all of them. And there's actually like, anyway, there's like a presence in there, like a goddess or Buddha presence that's blessing everybody.
That's what I noticed too. Like, but that's funny because like first time when I first saw it, first thing came to my mind is, oh, tree of life, and then I looked closer. That looks like a some type of female with the, like in the some type of robes or
You can
something.
see, right, like her crown. That's actually her crown. I did a whole video on this, and maybe I'll post it later. But I actually was like a dancing tree goddess, and we did this whole short video on it. And we did calligraphy. It was so beautiful. So I'll share it with you later. We did soul song to that, you know, and you could get a sense of that because David sang his soul song, you know, and maybe I'll do a little bit for the blessing. But in here, you can make a wish. So it's a wishing tree. So you make one wish tonight, each of you. If you would like a wish of your heart, and it was blessed by Dr. Master Rulin for prosperity and success.
Wow.
So, yeah. So I'll give you a few moments, and everyone online, take a few moments to make a special request as appropriate, and we will do that together. Okay? So let me know when you're done. How are we doing? Do you have your request in your heart? Are you holding that in your heart now?
Yes.
Okay. Now, it's not a Christmas list. It is one request. Everybody was so deep in a trance. I'm like, it's just one. I know what it is. I know what it is. It's a very powerful one. That's what you were tapping into. Like what in your heart wants to surface, right?
It's almost like a ball. I'm just putting it in that little ball that I see in the tree. I'm making the vision
Actually,
as...
if you look at it, there is a circle. You're actually right. You see the little circle? She actually did that afterwards. She created the art, and then she was guided to actually put it into a circle because the circle is like Tao.
Wow.
It's like creation and reverse creation. It all happens in oneness, right? So yeah, there's so many elements to this, you know, and the colors of Mother Earth, of the ocean of abundance, and the green. She actually has one like this that's a little darker in black and gold, but this is the one that everyone kind of fell in love with a little bit, you know. I shouldn't say we love both of them, but this one, you know, this one stood out because it also represents Mother Earth, rooted and grounded, you know. And then what else we like to speak on is prosperity is also your health. Yeah, it's very important that you're strong and you're rooted and you're grounded into Mother Earth. These are the times as well that there's a lot of you know, chaos energy as well. So we do need to be grounded in these turbulent times because we can have a lot of enlightenment. And if you look at the tree, how it is actually, I'll just put it down for a moment. Sorry, somehow I got muted. But did you hear me that part of it where I said, oh, okay, I'm sorry. So the tree actually is like, oh my goodness, I gave such a beautiful message and we missed it. Okay, sorry. We'll pop back in, replay. All right. So what I wanted to say is that besides the success and prosperity of the golden and everything and the goddess of Mother Earth, it's actually like the ocean blue of success and flowingness of water, and also the green of Mother Earth. So health, you know, flourishing, being nourished. And so being grounded in the turbulent times, because these times are chaotic, yeah, but they're also the best of times. Yeah. So we have both dynamics working. And so, yeah, we want to be like the prosperity tree. And depending on what, you know, school of thought, the Buddha trees. Buddha trees have all these wishing and fulfilling jewels and abundance and everything, and they're in heaven. And so when the Buddhas shake the tree, all the prosperity comes down to earth for each person. So that's what the tree actually is. Yeah, it's powerful. When I first saw it, I knew exactly. This was 3 years ago. I was like, Monica, we need to have that art piece. You know, we need to use it because it's soul. She does soul guided paintings and messages. So she actually paints to Dr. Master Shah's Love, Peace, Harmony songs, and she reads things. So actually, all of that energy is now in this painting. Plus, Master Merlin like blessed it specifically for prosperity and success. So you can feel that energy. Yeah, it's actually pretty powerful. Just holding it is already a blessing. But maybe we can do a higher blessing for each person. Okay, ready?
Ready?
Okay, so I will hold it, and we'll close our eyes, and we'll think into our hearts, and yeah, and just breathe deeply and connect with ourselves, connect to our root chakra, our first chakra, our soul house, in the pelvic area, and feel just the roots grounded into Mother Earth, and feel all that light and love come back up to the heart, and feel the heart expand like the tree of life, and feel this tree in the heart, like all the branches of the heart and the arteries, the veins and alveoli and everything, like a tree, the lungs, the bronchial, the tubes, physically and spiritually, the message center. And just feel yourself blossom into this tree of life. Okay, I'm going to put this down just for a moment. So dear, this beautiful prosperity tree of love, we love, we honor, we appreciate you so very much. We're so grateful to have you in our presence, to feel your connection to all of us as the branches radiate out and up into all dimensions, all the way across into Seattle, into Washington with Dr. Judy, and in California with Yoon and with Vivian and Scott, where he is in, I believe, in Utah. Yes, in Utah. And I know that he's not feeling as well, but if you could open his heart as well to receive a blessing of love as appropriate, so that he can feel our heart and soul as well. And please forgive us for not being in alignment of the greatest love at all times. We deeply apologize, and we wish to transform this. And this moment, we commit to being the most radiant love and having your light shine through us. Please bless each of these people. Vivian, beloved Vivian, beloved Dr. Judian, beloved Yoon, and beloved Scott, for the request of their heart. Blessing begins. So I'll sing my soul song as appropriate. Just keep opening your heart to receive. And just see that tree of life and love blossom to hold all of your dreams, especially that one wish of your heart. and feel all the virtue, the flowers and the jewels and all the beautiful things you ask for drop into your soul. And just feel the branches of the tree gather around you and gather all this love and light to hold you in your heart and ground down into Mother Earth and receive all that nourishment of love and light. And now just feel, if you're granted this wish, what it will do for all of humanity. So complete that wish if you would. I would want this. If it's flourishing, I would want a financial blessing, or to receive this, or self-love, whatever it is, so that I can serve humanity at the highest level that the universe, that heaven, that the Tao wants me to serve at. And I accept this responsibility and this love into my heart gratefully. And just feel that gratitude. How. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Love you, love you, love you. Gonsong. So how is just thank you, be well, and Gonsong is just rest for all the souls and for all of our souls that came to support this blessing. And we're so grateful for this beloved art that has brought all this love to all of us. To Master Malin and to Master Shaw and to Dr. Junie and Fayoun and Vivian and Scott for receiving the blessing for all of us, and each person that sees this recording, that they will also be blessed by this. So for all that, we give our love. Thank you. So thank you, everyone.
Well, that was wonderful. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. I'm so happy we got to do that.
My third eye was like, whoa, I can feel like the pressure on my forehead just like expanding for some reason.
Yeah, it's the eye when the vibration like you were talking about, I tuned in, goes really high. That high frequency and vibration starts to open like our channels and everything. It starts to explode our heart, so you could feel your heart just burst, you know?
Yeah, I was getting kind of like almost feeling like I was just got out of channeling.
Yes, absolutely.
Wow, it's very powerful. Thank you for that.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone. I had so much fun. I always have so much fun on this show. Yeah? I hope you folks had fun tonight.
Yeah, definitely. That was awesome.
Oh, great. And thank you to all of our listeners too. I'm so glad. Thank you for putting up with me. I know I'm a little bit like magical. After anytime visitors come in, we're holding up dragons. You never quite know what you're gonna get on this show. It's so fun. That's why I love it.
Yeah.
Marsha, would you like to share a little bit about your platform a little bit more?
Okay, yeah, sure. I will, yeah, I would love to do that. So basically, our platform is spreading love, peace, harmony to the whole world. So see, when I talk about higher platform, I just went for the whole world. It wasn't some small island in the middle of nowhere. It's like, no, we're just spread this Gilligan's Island we're talking about. It's like the whole world. Because you know what? We're all one. You know, I was on the first episode and I'm still talking about the same thing. You know, and now I have a crown, you know? So now we can share it with the whole world because it's at the international level now. The pageant is the international pageant. And so I get to represent China because I'm over half Chinese. And Miss USA was taken already, you know. I do have to tell you this. I almost didn't do the pageant, you know. It's for a little funny reason. Because I'm like, do I really have to choose a nation? I'm like Hawaiian, Chinese, English, Irish, Portuguese. I'm 7 different nationalities. And I'm like, I'm going to have to choose only one. And, you know, I have this oneness in my heart. I'm like, oh, I don't know about this. So I thought for a long time, I'm like, I only can choose one. I can't be like Miss All Nations. I was trying to think of my own title for my sash, you know, because I have to sew it in. That's why it's taking a little while. I actually have to sew it in. It's hand stitched, you know, and so I'm waiting for it. And I was like, but you know, my guidance was this. It said, don't worry. You represent one, you represent all. It's what's in your heart. Yeah, that counts. And so that's what I said, okay, I'm good, you know? And so I thought, okay, so now we can actually share the divine love wisdom. You know what I just read to you? That's so powerful in this little book, right? Mm-hmm. Like just taking on the responsibility and just the one phrase about you are the enjoyer. You're not the doer. I'm the doer. That like takes so much pressure off us. Like, oh, I thought I was doing all the work. No, you're not. You're not doing any of the work because it's flowing through you. Right. So guidance and channeling that everyone does, and through the dragons and these powerful forces in Guan Yin and all the source and all of that, it's just moving through us. We're not doing it. That's why I can happily say, you know, when I see artwork or if I create something, I'm like, oh, that's amazing, because I know it's not me. I actually know this is not Kit. The dragon that you folks will receive, as magical as it is and how much I love her, that's actually not her. That's her higher power aspects and her magic coming through. So we can safely stay with all of our friends and entertainment and the music, even the band that I work with. And that was just arbitrarily, songs kept coming into my head, and I'd never had written songs before, you know, but the blockages were being removed. So now I'm like, oh, so you want me to write songs? They're like, yes. Okay. So once, I think, you know what it is? We talk about the tree. It's like heaven's love for us and our soul potential is so big and so vast. But we block ourselves sometimes from like, you know, well, I thought it was supposed to look like this. You know, I wanted it to be this. But, you know, I didn't quite look at what was right in front of me, like what was happening. And we are always asking, what's my soul task? What's my life purpose? What's my mission? Sometimes we just have to pay close attention and be very aware of what's going on in this present moment. You know, it's like all of you folks together, and it just magically came together and you united, and you're like, what's the next level? Let's do a show. Let's promote other people, and let's also promote ourselves as a, you know, as a natural give and take and flow, and gather all of these people together. You just look at what's happening. And you guys are so good. I love you folks. You guys are a perfect case study for like magic. Because you're just like, every week, you never know what is going to happen. You're just trusting. I hope Porsche's friends are magical. I'm really hoping. I don't even know any of them, but she tells me that they're magical. And then we have all of these people. And I love you because you're trusting my magic. That's why you're always loving me and giving me like all of this wonderfulness, you know. But I'm like, no. Also, you're trusting that who I bring is magical. You know, but our hearts are similar because I'm listening. I'm being aware. I watch the shows afterwards, you know, and I'm like, I saw Dr. Judy this week, and then 3 weeks from now, you know, and then I'm paying attention to Scott. Like my episode, I wasn't quite there because a lot of it was flowed. So I'm not quite present, right? When you're in trance, like Yoon says. So I went back to listen, and I'm like, wait, Scott said he wanted to know more about Lomi Lomi. I know someone, James. Right? And he was so cool, right? Mm-hmm. But we just listen, we pay attention. So that's what's so beautiful about this. I finally paid attention to my life, and I'm like, we're putting on concerts. I don't even know how to put on concerts. I've never put on concerts before, but we're sort of like doing it. We're doing it, and we're being pretty successful at it. Like people are showing up. I mean, you know, it's one thing to throw a concert, but nobody shows up. You know what I mean? It's one thing to have a show and then nobody watches it. That's not as successful as you could be, right? So people are enjoying themselves. I watch people's faces light up. I watch Dr. Master and then dance and smile and sing. And the last 3 songs they did was completely unrehearsed, was all flow. And those were the most amazing songs. Literally, she's jumping up and down and trying to fly. Like if you watch the concert, Dr. Judy, I posted it. You guys have to watch it. I just put the clip on YouTube. She was dancing and bouncing on stage. It was like a spiritual mosh pit. It was, and I hadn't even been to like one of those concerts, the rages. What do they call those?
Raves.
Yeah. See, I told you, I totally haven't been to them, but I read about them, right? And people jumping up and down. She was having so much fun. It was like watching a little child. And that's what it's all about. So it comes back to the magic that your show is for people. Because every time I'm like watching it, listening to it, or I'm on the show, I'm like, oh, we're gonna have some magic tonight. So it's just that energy, you know? And so then I just looked at the magic in my life and I'm like, we're putting on concerts. James is coming to here. We're writing songs together. Songs are doing great. Oh, 2 of their songs are now in the semi-finalists for the International Song Contest.
Wow.
Out of 19,000 people.
Congratulations to them. Let them know. We say congratulations.
It's so fun. And so Dr. Judy and she knows Master Shah's song, if you want to know if a pear is sweet, right? Taste it. So that's the lyrics to Ryan's song that he wrote. He just opened up one of the books, got the download, boom, song. All of us, he hasn't done that. I mean, this is a premier international song contest. It's not the best one. It's really high level. So I'm just watching all this magic happen and I'm smiling, and inside I'm so happy because they're living their dream, and it's not easy to live their dream. I mean, he's very shy, and he's, you know, and James has brought him a long way and encouraged him, and you know, always. Here's the thing: kindness goes a long way. I've learned. The higher up you go, and the more evolved you become, or think that you're becoming evolved, right? It's much better to become kind. It's much better to become soft, and it's much better to use the power and influence that you have to encourage others.
Yes.
It takes the same amount of negativity and positivity to make a situation move, you know? So I've watched this, and I'm watching this band. That's why this band's very unique. You know, it's like a family, and I see the encouragement and the love that they have. And all it is sometimes is a kind word. All it is to talk positively about someone, you know? Instead, just think a little bit, pause, listen to them, give them the presence, you know? And also love them. Love what's right in front of you, you know? If they're there, and then, you know, let's say Kit was only supposed to come and drop off, have you guys pick, and then, you know, and leave. But you encouraged her, and then she could talk a little bit more. And then she hasn't ever done this, an online show, you know? For a lot of artists, it's like the first time for everything. So it's so great you guys are encouraging that love. And you know, I see this with the band, and then I'm just like, okay, I could do this. I could run around the world with them, and, you know, we could be like, you know, they always say they're like the Beatles, because a lot of the music was inspired by that, you know? It's really cute. So I'm like, yeah, we could do this. We could do a world tour, and we could go visit the different places and do what you folks are doing. So maybe we'll hook up one time, right? Because that's what you guys are doing. You guys are going to the sacred sites and becoming empowered and being downloaded. So we have to kind of hook up and get together and see what we can do together, you know, like maybe in May, like you're talking about the Joshua Tree. I did look it up and see what I'm thinking. And James is now in California, and, you know, it's very interesting how things collide. So I just think that if we can really tap into our responsibility, we'll talk about that, right? Because of the message, and really just take a look at not what we thought our life was going to be, but what our life has become.
Oh, yes.
And flow with that. Because if we're always trying to, like, what is it? Feel loss for things that we thought was going to turn out this. I have a feeling that if we focus on this, because I've seen it in my own life, it actually will turn out better. And it will somehow work its way around. Do you know what I mean? Because heaven never forgets your love and your passion that you have in your heart and why you came to earth. So sometimes, even though we think it's a little bit of a sidetrack, it's more of a smoothing out of the same track. Do you know what I mean? And like they say, all roads can lead up to the mountain. Sometimes we get like, oh, there's only one. This is the way, and this is, you know, but it's like a tree. It branches out. It does branch out from one system, though, you know, to have all that love, the branches and the fruit. So we always have to, yeah, I guess we always have to have consideration for everyone's point of view and everyone's love, because we can learn so much from everyone. Yeah, the different, the yin and the yang, it always comes together with Tao. But yeah, that's our platform. Our platform is now spreading love, peace, harmony through the music and positive lyrics. The band's writing all original songs. They have their CD coming out. We're looking at the third Divine Love concert in Hawaii now. That's why I'm like, oh, I wish we all could get together. It'd be so fun. And then,
Well, you know, we always, they always have a surprise for us.
absolutely, yeah,
So it's kind of like what you're saying. Just pay attention and just
yeah,
live in the moment, live in the now, and that whatever transpire will.
that's totally true. So
Yeah.
that's what's going on right now. Is the platform has become spread love, peace, harmony through the concerts, the music, the message, and we have a really fun thing going on actually this weekend. I'll tell you, because we're taking our calligraphies actually, and we're gonna play music and dance and have fun. I don't know if you caught. I'll show you this really briefly. It's not. It won't take long. But we're doing it Sunday at 1 p.m. because it's gonna be really fun. But you know, we have calligraphy. This one is beautiful. This is Da'ai, Greatest Love. Yeah, Master Henderson actually wrote this for us. So we're gonna take calligraphy and we're gonna trace it actually with balls. Now you're gonna love this, because what I did is I got a Da'ai sticker, like the, you know, stickers and their blast and everything, and the ball represents the world, the oneness of the world. So we're actually going to trace the calligraphies with the ball. We did this last year, 11/11. It was a big day for manifestation. Yeah. So we're going to have the band come over and play music. So I'll post some links later, and we're going to do this all around the world. And people are going to share their gratitude and blessings and love with everyone around the world. But Sunday is a special day. It's actually Maha Shivaratri. Do you folks know what that is?
No.
Okay, so in India, what they do is it's a really big, the Kumbh Mela happens and everyone jumps in the rivers and they purify and wash out all the impurities. So you've probably heard about it, yeah?
Yeah.
Very famous. Yeah, so it's around this time. And also it's the day when Shiva actually did the primal dance of creation. So it's been said that if any prayers, meditation is done on that night, it actually equals 1 million years of meditation.
Wow.
It's super special. So if you notice me, I love to celebrate festivals and special days like Chinese New Year and just really fun things. So we look at really auspicious dates. So that's one of them. So just as a little good luck thing for everyone. So you can join us. It's online. It'll be recorded too if you can't catch us. But also, do something special on that day. You know? Do some meditation or some enlightenment or maybe some channeling, right, Yoon?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Not that you need any more dragons to come through. What did you say, 10 million? John said 10 million?
John said 10 millions, and the platinum dragon that was in Oregon will also come.
Oh, that's the grandfather dragon, yeah?
Yes, and John was saying that the platinum dragons and Master Sha goes back many lifetimes.
Yeah, I feel that too. Dragons are just, you know, he's been compared to a dragon like Lao Tzu. We talked about in my first episode, yeah? They're untrappable, magical, mystical, and the rides on the breath of clouds. So it's really quite magical. So yeah, Master Sha and Lao Tzu and dragons and your 10 million dragons. Wow, that is quite amazing. You folks are very fortunate, actually. The whole world is fortunate that you folks are doing that empowerment for people. And
you know what John was saying, that as you were mentioning earlier, of the urgency,
yes,
of the timing right now, and the dragons are calling on all. That's why the attentions are being called there.
definitely.
Because of the situation of where the ring of fire, the way the tectonic plates sitting. So that's the urgency of, and so that's what he was saying, that's why there's that many.
Mm. Yeah. Did you want to also share a little bit about that because it's coming up? Did you want to share as well so everyone can listen a little bit?
Oh, about our workshop?
Yeah, absolutely. I
Yeah,
want to hear about it.
we are hosting a workshop on the Big Island, and it's on March 15th to the 17th. It's a 3-day workshop. The first 2 day actually is helping the attendee to really align their body so that they can prepare and receive the downloads that are coming. So our guidance is to assist the body first to remove all the blockages. And Scott will lead the workshop through really removing that blockage through a technique that he had learned and mastered it proficiently, where just a light touch, you can actually recalibrate the body back to center.
Wow.
Yeah, it's fascinating. You know, being as a chiropractor, to see the work that he's doing, it's phenomenal. And so once the body and the mind is already aligned, the soul now can then come forth and receive the download, their dragon. So what we were told is that we hold that energy field,
Yes.
and they, the spirit side, will bring forth the download to these souls that hear the calling and that are attending the workshop.
Oh.
So it actually activates their, the way that they told us is that we hand them their key to access their soul higher wisdom.
Mm-hmm. Wow,
Yeah.
that's powerful. So it's like they actually, you're connecting them kind of with like the dragon, with the flow, with that energy, so they can ascend.
Yes, because not so much of an ascendant is that these souls, these dragon souls, are here to hold down the light.
Mm-hmm.
So more souls can awaken and then ascend
Yes, yes. Okay.
through the transition time. So because that period is going to come quickly, but
Oh yeah, we're already here. Yeah.
the
Yeah.
The more of that energy that we can anchor for humanity, the more souls can then start to awaken. Because the goal is to save as many, right?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it's almost like it's a ripple effect, and like as other people has affected us, we're being guided to do this work, and then it would affect those who attend, and then they would ripple effect to
So
others
we are
as well.
small, and then the attendees will start the other big ring, and then more and more.
Yeah, and this is, it almost seems like it's the message coming through is like for the one event that has been talked a lot about in this whole concept of ascension that we're in at this time. And there's a lot of information that's being brought forth right now of how it's gonna happen, and it seems like what's gonna, even with our own information that we were receiving as well, is that when this event comes, it comes in waves. So it's the first wave that's gonna get the most out of it, this group of people, and then their energy field will affect others, and it would ripple effect, and eventually like there's like I believe 3 waves, the first, second, and third, and it will travel all through that. So the first will be kind of the people who are more privy to the spirituality or more connected, will receive most of that energy, and they would kind of be kind of like the voice to bring this message out to assist others to open up to the second wave, and then the second, then to the third.
Oh, that's so beautiful. Are you folks personally going to be there the 15th to 17th? Are you folks staying afterwards as well, or no?
I'll be there till the 19th. 19th, I'm heading out.
Okay. Dr. Judy as well? You folks?
Yeah, I'll fly out like late on the 18th, So like red eye.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Trying to keep options open so we could do some things. That would be so fun. Okay, wonderful.
But we are flying in early though. We are. I'm gonna be there on the 13th. Jung is already there.
Next Wednesday.
Next Wednesday.
Wow.
Mhm.
Okay, Vivian, when do you fly in?
Thursday.
Oh, wow. So you guys are gonna do some dragon fun magic before they're planning on anchoring energy before the energy gets anchored.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
When are you performing on the Oahu?
When is our concert? It's actually probably going to be the 15th. Or smaller concert, and then we might have a bigger one later. But 15th at Malai Kahana. But you know what? We might actually webcast that one. So maybe a possibility that we can all connect, feel the energies of each other, you know. But either way, let's just keep in touch, you know, definitely, so we can connect. But if there's any other way, yeah, like you said, heaven will make it happen. We'll all come. If it's meant to be, we'll completely do it. If not, then I know you have another event in May as well. That's super fun, like sound healing. That was what tonight was about. The whole first half of the show. It's about sound healing and soul song and tapping in and really, you know, music is so powerful.
It is, yeah.
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 So what we could do, I know we hit the next hour already, so we can say goodbye to our listeners, and then we can chat later.
Absolutely, absolutely. Thank you so much, everyone.
Okay.
So we are so grateful, Porche, for always being with us. We thank our viewers, and please join us again. Young, tell me what's gonna happen next week. He's our tech guy, and he won't be here next week.
Yeah, I'll be on the Hawaiian Big Island.
Oh, is that so?
Mm-hmm. But I think, let's see. So I come in on Wednesday. I should be able to do it. Yeah, we should be able to have a radio show. We got internet at where I'm staying at. We got a place in Airbnb, and we're south of Kona, about half an hour away. So where's the Big Island? So you're southwest, not too far. So
Yeah.
All right, so next week will be tentative then.
Yes, I would say this. Like, I'm tuning in. I know we had something else scheduled, but I'm tuning in now. You know, everything changes in the moment. You know, it'd be really nice if you folks did a show. If those that are in Hawaii could send the vibes and their awareness of what's going on. You know what I mean? Like, that's a really powerful Hawaii in itself. The culture, the you know, because I grew up there, so I know just the you know, the magic that will come to you. You could probably just do a whole thing on awareness, and you could probably, I don't know if you could take pictures or if you could do some video, some outside, even at a sacred place.
yeah.
You could actually tune in, and you could send everyone the vibes to prepare everybody, you know?
Oh, you'll get at that.
Yeah. Like, go on your own, like, you know, adventure, magical adventure, and then you can report back, you know?
I'll also have some kids screaming in the background.
Oh,
You guys are family.
adventure.
Yeah, it'll be an adventure with the family.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so let's say maybe tentative for next week. Maybe you have to enjoy yourself. You folks can take a break as well. You can rest. Radiate Up can rest. Take your ground in earth. Yeah.
I think I'll be doing a lot of meditation there.
Yeah, I think so. So yeah, maybe put it on rest for a little bit, you know, and then come back and share all your magical adventures. The viewers will wait. They'll wait for all your magical adventures, you know, because then the show after that will be so like full of life and even more magic, you know.
Well, we were thinking on when we are in Hawaii on the 14th, we may air live from there.
You should definitely do that without question. Why were you even saying I'll think about it? This is like it's done. It's
Yeah, we're gonna do it.
We're gonna do it. So let's be live from Hawaii.
Live from Hawaii. That's right. Live from Hawaii. That's right.
It'll be with our phone.
Absolutely. Well, phone quality is good. You have a good phone. My phone is actually really high quality. It's actually a little bit higher than even my laptop. So yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, I got, you know what I did? I walked into the phone place. All I said, I just told him, I said, can you just show me the phone that has the best pictures and the best video? Because, you know, I'm like, that's my background is entertainment. So they're like, it's this one. And it wasn't like, you know, iPhone or anything like that. I didn't care at that point. I just wanted the one that would get it the best. And that was the one I want. I said, that's the one I want, you know? So yeah, it was nice that that was the magic. So wonderful. Thank you so much, everyone.
Yes, and thank you. Tune in on the 14th with us live from Hawaii. Thank you again. We'll see you next 2 weeks from now.
See ya.
Love you, everybody. Bye.
Bye.